I'll have to message you. Okay.
I'm rolling with the power of the old ones tonight. Help me.
Right. So while the rest of you guys slumber inside the tent, Cinder, you are awake after having taken your meditation rest. Go ahead and give me a perception
Nice.
check.
That's 11.
11, okay. As your watch has played out, you've noticed several groups of what appear to be raiders moving through the ravine. As the hours passed, the frequency with which these groups came and went seemed to dwindle. You also noticed the groups sounded like they get smaller and smaller in size. You heard lots of whispered commotions in regards to the remains of the battle that was fought earlier today. But due to the location of the hut, you were unable to make out any kind of specific conversations, but you just noticed that there were commotions, as if they did notice that this group had been slaughtered.
And they just took the one guy away, the cultist, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
they did remove the man in black.
Alright.
Excellent. And with that, the rest of the group begins to stir and wake up.
No.
So, Harbingers and Dungeons, what would you like to do?
I say we keep to the high ground.
So while you guys were sleeping, all
Did you
these
see
people
anything?
came by. But I think those people who were behind us, we were worried about, I think, passed through. But
Right.
it seemed as if less were coming through as the night went on. So
When was the last
thinking-
time you saw something?
When was the last time I saw something? Let's see.
A couple hours ago.
A few hours.
Were they coming or going?
They were going towards,
The main camp.
yeah.
He jumped us because we were wearing the capes.
They would have jumped us either way.
Yeah.
As soon as they're down, commander, it may give us an in.
It's a possibility.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna just what time is it?
So the way we're gonna go with time
Right?
is that it is, you know that it's sometime in the middle of the night. Nobody has watches.
So it's still dark?
It is still dark.
Okay.
It is sometime in the middle of the night. You went to bed in the afternoon, and you have woken up in the night. The moon is out. And if you would like to know specific times, there is a feat that you can choose that will tell you exactly what hour of the day it is.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Until then, it's basically going to be morning, afternoon, evening.
So the dilemmas that we have amongst us now is Bacardi was torn off in the hands of the Blue Dragon. This army is being raised in the name of Tiamat, building a coffers by raiding towns and stealing their treasures. And they are without a commander who met his demise by my sword. We track into the midst of their large encampment to try to find their leader. There's 8 of us? I think we need a better plan.
Well, I don't think we were gonna go in there guns blazing. I think maybe we should
Maybe we're sneaking in.
Yeah.
maybe even send one person ahead to
Okay, you want to move it
scout.
over that
I
way?
mean, I guess we could all go.
What?
We
So-
definitely need to sneak in.
I don't see you or I being able to sneak in. The ranger's a city ranger that doesn't sneak even half as well as I.
Yeah, not much for sneaking. Crown's better at sneaking.
It leaves our gnome and our demon.
I'm up for sneaking.
I say we pass the trace, all of us,
I vote.
and go.
Agreed.
Maybe
What about this
you can put
plan?
disguise on.
I say. What if we volunteer for their ranks? and become part of their armies.
They might recognize you and having.
Oh,
killed
I,
their boss.
I am counting on it.
We have to get somebody away from the major group, just in case they don't like the idea. We can kill them. You can't just roll in there surrounded by them and be like, if they just deny us, then it's going to be a slaughter.
I think
We can't go in there with the intent of fighting everybody. It's not gonna work.
No, it's fights.
We can't do it.
I become their new commander.
If they're down with that.
I don't see any dragonborn amongst them. I think that's too obvious.
The Dragonborn command the dragons. We are a higher race than the dragons, more intelligent and more accomplished. If anyone's going to lead dragons, it'll be a Dragonborn.
So you want to go up here and convince them that you're going to be their new leader?
So thoughts? We find out where Bacardi is being held. A commander can walk away from his troops at any time in the midst of chaos and battle. It is a thought.
Well, first things first, we need to get close enough to see how the land lays at a distance.
Agreed.
Okay.
We might still have a road fight ahead of us before we even get there.
There are alternatives to fighting.
It's true.
How many people can you disguise? Just yourself?
Just myself. That's what I'm thinking too.
Right?
Maybe I should disguise myself and take one of you with me as like a prisoner or something and roll up in there. I don't know.
Did any of the people that we killed have like outfits on, look like a uniform or something? I know they weren't wearing the clothes.
You never really checked.
Okay, I say we go down there and we look at the
Look
bodies
at the
and see if
corpses.
maybe that could help us blend in a little better. I mean, we're still not gonna
Yeah.
necessarily look like them. So what
That's
notice?
fine. We can go down and check out the bodies.
Okay.
Right?
We can go look. Well, we knew what their races were when we were there.
They're white.
They were all humans, right?
Everyone you've seen so far has been humans, with the exception of Langdedrosa.
Right. And
Exception
Ledgergosa.
to
Langdedrosa?
the blue dragonborn.
Well, let's get on our way.
Sorry for it.
So, what you doing?
I want to look at the bodies.
I'll go down here and look at the bodies.
So you are all leaving the
If the
Dome?
corpses
Well,
are
first, I
still
want to
there.
scout to see if there's anybody around.
Yeah, anyone coming?
Okay.
go ahead and make
Anyway.
a perception check.
I'm rolling bad. 9.
9. So you poke your head outside of the tent. As you do, you feel a gentle yet noticeable night breeze on your flesh. You look up and you see that the sky is cloudless. Saloon, which is the name of the moon. And the stars are shining bold and bright in defiance of the darkness of the sky. You take a look around, and from what you see, you don't see anybody within distance. Doesn't look like anybody's been around in a while.
Okay.
You
I'm
don't
gonna,
hear anything.
I want to stealth my way down people just in case
Sure.
anybody's still around.
Are you going alone?
I want to creep up and be on the hill looking down at her in case anything comes unnecessary.
Stay atop the hill.
I'm just going to post up and do
Alright.
my Daryl thing.
Alright, so go ahead and give me stealth checks.
16.
7.
7. Okay.
Unbelievable. Come on, two
As
dice.
you begin to move down into the ravine, Syndra goes ahead and makes her way down. Ned comes up to the very edge. As he gets to the edge, his foot knocks some rocks and they kind of fall down into the ravine. You kind of look back and you're like, oh.
My bad. Sorry.
Um,
I use that. That's the heat right?
but that's about all that happens. So you're gonna inspect the body. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. And what is that exactly are you looking for?
I want to see if there's like outfits I could take
Sure.
for us to wear.
Okay.
I found a whole bunch of nothing. I think 5.
5. Okay, 5 is what you needed. They are right in front of you. Yes, they are wearing individual armor. They are not wearing anything
Uniform,
Colt branded.
Right.
Um,
They're all wearing their individual outfits.
right. Well, so this is for her. 'Cause she's
Right.
the one down there. Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
There,
20.
There
20?
it is.
Okay.
Natural?
No.
What you remember is that since you guys have left, and the things that you noticed from the attack was that nobody was wearing cultist gear. So them not having the gear on them makes sense.
Okay.
But they do. There are plenty of bodies around. What was it? 8,
There was
9,
8
I think.
They took the
9
one.
and then the 1.
They
I
took
think
the,
we looted
Oh,
the
there was
bodies
4,
already.
4, and then one in the back.
Right?
9
Yeah,
total.
we did.
Yeah, 9.
I don't think they had a lot on them.
Then we already looted all the
Yeah, we
Yeah, we did.
took their dragon statues.
Yes.
Yeah, I wrote that down somewhere.
I've
Okay.
got it.
I'll walk back up and tell everybody it's a no-go on us wearing their outfits because it doesn't
Nothing.
seem like they have a cohesive.
Theme
Yeah.
or something.
No.
That's what I say.
So
They all have their own gear. It's mercenaries.
do we just stay? Have us 3 stay towards the back, but at least in range, and then you 3
Sorry.
approach, see what you can find out,
That works.
deceive if needed.
Approaching, or you following the trail? Or?
Well, we'll try to take the high ground around the trail so we don't get ambushed from the headland.
Okay. Alright, so go ahead and give me a marching order. Take your minis if you don't mind, just set them in the middle of the table and have a marching order would look. And then,
There's a ladle.
Yeah, well, me using it in the back.
Oh,
I'm using
It's in the bag.
yeah the blue bag towards the. It should be the front pocket,
It's in the
the
bag.
very front one, the small one there. Yeah,
These.
yeah.
Here, I'll let you get them out.
Up here, I think.
Red.
Am I hanging back?
Yeah, I think you were gonna hang back with us.
Alright.
And Red, you're back here too, right?
I guess.
What?
Because of the, or you're coming with us? You have a higher stealth, don't you?
Probably.
I actually have 6 stealth, I just roll badly at it a lot.
Or just the two of us
I
going
got a
up
4
ahead?
stuff.
Wait, did you
Plus
roll a
6.
7 for stealth earlier?
Yes.
And you added 6?
We're gonna, just the two of us going up front? Is that what we had discussed?
I have a 4 stealth plus 4 stealth.
Wherever you think I'm best for the marching.
What do we So we're still on top of the left side of that.
the ravine.
If we're looking, you know, like the ravine goes like this. If we're looking that way, what happens to the land? Like how does it?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Perception, I'm looking for this too.
9.
I got a
I didn't
22.
I gotta get my dice out of
Okay.
that thing here.
From looking out, you can see that the ravines eventually dip down and in and then back up. And you can see that there seems to be a lot of ravines that are kind of intertwining and meeting into each other
Okay.
and going. So at some point in time, at some point in time, you would suspect that the ravine that you're going to walk on is going to end. Whether that happens before or after the path turns or whatever, you don't know yet.
Alright, let's keep the high
All the
ground.
people she saw that passed us when we were in our tent or bubble tent thing, they were all down in the ravine. as they passed us, or did some go by us up top, or
I thought they were all down.
they were all down in the ravine?
So like I say, we keep the high ground as much as we can, but we still follow what we can tell was the trail for all these people. There's going to be obvious signs of where people have been through here.
Question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I can cast Pass Without a Trace, but I'm gonna burn a second level spell slot. So I don't know if we should wait till we get closer past it. 'Cause I don't know
think so.
how far away we are.
Do we still have that dust, or
Oh yeah, you have Justice Resistance, but that
that would erase?
won't the same.
Our steps behind us.
One of you two can give a survival check.
Survival.
I believe in you, Ben.
All right, me too.
You can do it.
Survival. No, that's plus 6. That's good. That's gonna be an 8.
0.
8? Okay.
Come on, Cthulhu dice. You need dice.
You do remember that the distance that was given to you is about 12 miles.
Okay.
And you guys have traveled for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So you
6
know
miles.
that you have about another hour or about 3 more miles left
Okay.
of your 12 miles.
I say we wait then, because
I
it only
say
lasts
we
for
wait.
2 hours.
Yeah.
All right. Trek it on. Keep on keeping on.
Okay.
That's when we get close.
All right. So as you guys make your way through, on top through the ravine, who's gonna lead tracking the path?
think
I
that
will
should
go
be,
ahead.
Go ahead and move. Just like put you up front and leave the rest as is.
We'll be there if you need us.
Yeah. So you're on top of the ravine, so you don't technically have to be in single file if you don't want to be.
Crab's gonna be right behind me. Crab's gonna be right behind me. All right. So we go ahead and watch the.
Okay. So yeah. So first, I will need a.
Come on.
If we stay single file, we can at least try to hide tracks in a sense. Especially with us big ones in the back. Putting our feet in the smaller steps.
Can you
So are you guys moving quietly or are you moving
Yeah.
quickly?
Moving quietly.
Like at a normal pace, right?
Do we want to
Yeah.
stealth?
What's that?
Do we want to stealth?
Not just yet. I don't see any trouble yet.
I mean, I don't think we should stealth at all.
Let's just keep moving.
Oh, okay.
I think we should
Let's
just
go.
try and get there
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
as fast as we can.
So we're not hollering
I
at
mean,
people,
not
but we're just
running or
trying to
anything,
tell
but I
them.
think we should head there
Yeah.
with a purpose.
All right.
Okay.
Maybe some of us act like we're injured or something, or I don't know. I don't think stealthing up to the place is gonna work. That's just my opinion.
Didn't they say it was like closed in anyway?
I think so.
All right.
There's only one
So
way in and out.
moving forward.
I mean, it'd
So-
be nice to have
hollering.
somebody maybe up top, you know, as we get closer to look and see if maybe there's a straggler group that we could jump in with.
We'd probably get
and walk
Cinder
right
to help
into
with
town.
that if needed.
You know, does anybody have anything to make us look different?
Invisibility for one person.
Only one person, and
You have
then
invisibility.
don't. Yeah,
I
you
just
don't
make
have
myself
any.
look
You
different.
can make yourself look different.
So as you guys begin moving
Gotcha.
normally through the brush, I will need everyone to give me a stealth check.
It's more like it. 13.
Sorry.
12.
Wait, disadvantage. That's not bad.
12.
13, 12,
16.
16,
12.
12,
10.
10, 12. 12. Okay. I rolled a 6. So you guys succeed. Okay, so then go ahead and give me a survival check to stay on the path.
That's gonna be a 14.
Okay. So as you guys make your way down through the ravine, you get to the very end of the top of the high ground of the ravine, and you have to start to descend back down into the lower part and begin following the trail again.
Already?
Yeah. There are. It's been about 20 minutes. There are fresh tracks here, so it's easy to pick up where they've been going. You do notice that the ravines begin to slink more southward, and they begin to open up. Whereas before they were 15 feet, they're now hitting about 30 feet. The air's still cool. Saloon continues to light your path. Off in the distance, you hear continuous cries and barks of coyotes. And then I will need the second stealth check.
I rolled 2 8s.
So you have
Sucks.
advantage.
Yeah.
I rolled an 18 and 19.
18, 19.
Yeah. 12.
18
12.
disadvantage.
I'm rolling 6
For one?
garlic bread.
10.
10.
I'm rolling 6 garlic breads.
Yep. I rolled 6.
I don't want to roll these dice because I'm having bad juju tonight. These new ones, Chris, are bad.
Can you two come roll, please?
Yes.
Did
Dad, we can roll for him.
everybody?
Yeah.
I want you to lay down.
What is? Who's laying down?
He's in the path.
It's because everyone's for walking around, but he was laying down.
Wait, he's laying down right here on the path.
We're doing stealth checks.
Stealth check, please.
Sorry, stop.
That's gonna be a 10.
17.
Jesus.
17. Okay. As you guys begin walking through this canyon, again, it's about 30 feet wide. You start to hear rumbling behind you. You hear a little
Like rocks?
like rocks.
Okay.
We're in the top or the bottom of the ravine.
You're now at the bottom of the
I don't know.
So we hear it up top.
No.
Are there any trees or rocks we could hide behind, or is it kind of like you're just out in the open?
Right. Currently, there is
Good.
nothing to hide behind. Right here, unfortunately.
You said it was behind us?
Yeah, it's coming up close though. You're
Can
getting.
we just turn off look and see?
Sure. Go ahead and
Right.
turn around. Make a perception check.
10.
10.
Perception. Ooh, a 21.
21.
Are we all looking?
21.
I said we.
Yeah,
No.
no. 11.
11. Okay.
It's better than
So you two, everyone's kind of stopped, and you're kind of holding your breath. You're holed up. You're like, you two, everyone's looking off in the distance. You don't see much. You start to see this like, what looks like a raised area of dirt, and it comes slinking up on you real quick. I'm gonna need everyone to roll initiative.
Holy shit.
It's Trimmers, man.
That is covers.
Where's Kevin Bacon when you need him?
I know.
And Burt Ward.
Wow, of course I rolled high on initiative.
That was my natural one that got us bum rushed.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
From Big World over here.
Got more of those breadsticks coming out if anybody wants them.
Those breadsticks aren't
Can
good.
you replace it?
I got 6.
Told you.
Yeah.
All right. As you guys see the ground, something comes from out and just pops out in front of Neb, and it's like, and you see before you this large insect come burrowing up from the ground. It's like many tentacles and claws hanging off it. It's like, and we're gonna go ahead and roll initiative.
We did, yeah.
14.
Are we off the map right now?
You're in the back.
The
So
three
you're
of us
about
are?
15 feet behind him, I think. 20 feet.
All right.
So it came up from the front, not the back.
It slinked around us. It came up from behind, but it. Right?
You said it was coming from behind us.
Yeah, I did say it was coming behind. Good catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be
Oh.
coming up on you guys. So we're
I
gonna
thought
actually
it,
swip that
it
around.
passed us
Can
and
I-
popped up in front of
Were
me.
you rolling initiative or?
No. Initiative roll stay the same.
Okay.
We're just gonna change the position.
You could turn us around.
Do you guys want to be in a line like this?
We were
Put
facing.
me in. I was wanting to be in front of them too.
We were facing backwards though.
Well, we would have turned around, because, yeah, we turned around.
Yeah,
we all turned
yeah,
around to
everyone
look.
turned around.
You guys fight.
So are we cool with this?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
And your little monster.
Yes. So with that erupting in front of the three of you, you see this giant insect, and we are going to go with initiative roll. So 25 to 20. 20 to 15.
19.
19.
18.
Okay, who's going first?
I will.
So Red,
That would make sense because it's really fast.
Syndra.
Did you say I will too?
Oh, no, I
Would you
don't
roll?
care.
18.
No.
I'm
I figure if I'm right in his face, I'll go
gonna roll in.
first.
So I'm gonna have to run around.
I'm normally a ladies first guy, but
That's
look
okay.
at the
Not
board.
right now.
You need to whip a crack.
Look at the board.
I got a 15.
15.
13.
I never
Can I-
roll that high on initiative.
Can I step to the bathroom now that you
Yes.
got mine?
You're bringing up the rear.
Fantastic. I do have a question though. You said it was. Did it come just up out of the ground, or did it like approach?
No, it came
towards us?
up out of the ground.
So would that technically be entering my reach?
For this, I would say no.
Okay.
Because it was underground.
Okay.
So with that, Red, you are up.
It's 11.
11 unfortunately hits. Or unfortunately misses. So, as it, you kind of swing, you're like, oh, and it just bounces off this thick rubbery insect-like hide.
Fuck, man. What the fuck, dude? What's the roll if you drop the weapon? Well, I'll just. It's a D20, right? Or what?
D20 plus your whatever your attack modifier is, and you have to beat an 11.
All right, I beat an 11.
Okay, so you still hold your weapon. So you bring it back around again, you whack, lay into it, but it's kind of like this carapace. Is that what you would say?
Carapace.
Yeah, carapace. And it you almost jotters the staff out of your hand.
13.
13 just barely hits.
Oh, sweet.
Awesome. It's fucking 5 points of damage.
Okay. With the
I just punch him.
okay.
What's the one?
So as the staff reverberates from the medium
What?
hit, you're like crack, and it just.
Don't get so jittery on me, Red.
Cinder, you're up.
It's just
Or do you
a
have anything
bug.
else? Movement? Anything?
You know what? Swing around behind him. Just keep me on him. Yep.
15 movement.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. Cinder,
Okay,
you're
I'm
up.
gonna wild shape into my brown bear. And then I have 40 movement, so I want to move up and get up right next to him.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We'll put you right here.
Right where I moved
Okay.
from.
So I'm gonna
So
come
you're good.
in.
Do you want here? Or do you want to go?
Right there's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna come in with my bite and my claws. That's 16 and 16 to hit.
Both hit.
Okay. 2, 7, 9, 13, 17 damage.
Sweet. There you go.
And that's it
Take
for
a chunk
me.
at it. Rip one of his little claw things off.
All right. So you see a Cinder into the bear and takes a bite. It's like and kind of like bats away at you with its little hands.
Healers.
That is the end of your turn. Do you have anything else?
Nope,
you'd like
that's
to
it.
Kick his ass, see that?
do? Hezcarl, you're up.
You bite it with a fish in your mouth.
Wow.
It's a
2
talent
hits
I
with
have.
Talon, miss with the Warhammer, and a natural 20 on Talon.
Nice.
So, boom. That's bad. That matches that. Okay. Nice. 12 plus 7. That's 19 damage on the first hit with the double with Talon. And then 7 plus 7, 14. So 33 total.
Oh wait, so I did the 19. What's the second one?
14.
14.
What was the second one for? I thought you missed with
Double
the second
damn. No, 20.
Oh,
20.
you doubled.
I missed with the Warhammer.
Yeah, you just doubled the dice.
Right,
Right.
that's what I did.
Yeah.
So
you see
6. See, that was 6 and 6. So 12 plus my damage modifier is 7. I'm
You
sorry.
just doubled the dice.
My damage modifier is 4. So 12, 16
Nice.
plus 11, 27.
27 was the total damage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so so it's Talon, Warhammer Talon?
Yep.
Is this the action? So
Yep.
you see is you swing Talon across and this green ooze kind of starts to ripple out from its body. You bring the Warhammer down, boom, and
20
it's
and
kind
18 and
of backs
six.
off the carapace.
Your
Bring
damage
Talon
was-
around again, and you see another slice of green.
6.
It's
So
like,
double that is 12.
is that the end of your
Oh,
turn?
you only had one. I thought you rolled 2 damage dice.
Is that the end of your
No,
turn?
I
I
rolled
got
one
you. I
die.
got you.
Yes.
I thought it was more.
With that,
Sorry.
it's his turn.
I thought I saw
and
13
he's
out
gonna swing
there, and I was
at
like,
Carl.
double that. That's 26 already. I thought it was that. Never mind.
Yeah, they were each D8s.
Gotcha.
So I just color coded each one.
Gotcha.
The first hit is a natural 20
On.
on you with its tentacles. So you're going to suffer 10 points of damage. I need a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. 8.
8 total?
Yeah.
Okay, so you take the 10 points of damage, and you are currently poisoned for 1 minute, and you are also paralyzed.
Paralyzed. No, paralyzed.
And you can repeat your saving throw at the end of each of. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turn to end the poison. So you can end it yourself. But you have to beat the DC. With that, it's going to swing again at you. You are paralyzed.
You get to do the saving throw right after his turn though, because it says at the end of each of his turns.
At the end of his turn.
Oh, I thought you said its turn.
No, at the
you
end
said
of his
you
turn.
said its, but
At the end of his
okay,
turn.
his turn. Gotcha.
So you are paralyzed. So you automatically fail strength and dexterity saving throws. And attacks have advantage on you. And they are critical if they hit. That's going to be a 25 to hit for the bite attack. Actually 21, sorry. 21 to hit for the bite attack. You are going to suffer 16 points of damage. As you see it, its tentacles and slashes across head Carl's skin. He starts to bleed a little bit, and you feel this venom kind of seep into your body. And you see him just seize up for a second, and it rears its head up, and it's like, it comes crashing down on him, just whoosh, takes a big bite into his shoulder. That is the end of its turn. Smidge, you are up.
Alright, I'm going to, I'm gonna throw a hex on him.
So, silver attacks.
You good?
Hmm?
Okay, so yeah, he's hexed, and I'm going to hit him with a witch bolt.
Okay.
Try to. Is it 15?
15 hits.
Alright, and I'm gonna. That's 3d12.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouchie.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
19, 23,
23.
and a hex. Is 5, so 28.
28. Okay. So you see a smidge pulls out her her finger, she points, and you see this green eldritch type energy shoot off.
Witch energy. Witch bolt.
Witch energy.
Yes, witch
And
energy.
it blasts into the side of the creature, and you see this hole kind of just open up, and it just and it starts just pouring liquid out of it. But it's still up. It's looking really hurt. It's kind of like waving itself around in the air. Is that the end of your turn?
It's not, it's not a happy centipede.
Yeah, I'll stay right there.
Okay.
That's good.
Nev, you're up.
Alright. Pot shot.
Okay.
+7. Oh, nice. That's gonna be 22.
That'll hit.
Okay. 1d10 plus 3. It's gonna be you. That's gonna be 4 damage on that guy. Shit.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do a double in my second attack. I'm gonna do the same.
Okay.
Ooh, crit, natural 20.
Okay.
There you
Roll
go.
damage.
Alright. 10, these two. That is more like it. It's 15 times it's 30 damage.
30.
Yes, because it's double, right?
You double the dice roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Then add your stuff.
And add your
Oh. Okay, well it's already 30 with this, the dice.
right, and then you add your damage modifier.
You rolled a 10 and a 5.
Plus 3.
Yeah.
Oh, plus 3, so
33.
33 damage.
Okay.
Cool.
So with that, you see Neb pulls out and plots off 2 shots right into the hole that was created by the witch bolt, and it just buries itself in there, and it's like, and as it opens its mouth,
Thank you.
the other bolt just right through the back of its
Yes.
head, and it just and it
Nice
falls into
shot.
that.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Cthulhu Dice Trust. It's Peter time. Let's try to find my stride here.
Way to go, killer.
That is defeated.
Fucking worms.
I'm gonna go to Carl and cast 5 points of lay on hands to him to neutralize the disease.
It's a poison.
Or neutralize it. It's cure disease or neutralize a poison.
Sure. Okay.
So you're no longer poisoned.
You are no longer poisoned.
Probably still paralyzed.
Saving throw of 13.
You just succeed. Just barely succeed. So you see as Bryson comes up and administers the divine energy. You see the poison that's been creeping up under the scales. This black poison just kind of subside, and as Carl kind of pulls himself out of it.
What the fuck was that thing?
Can I do a
Giant centipede.
nature check to see if I know what the thing was?
You can certainly try.
What would that be?
It would be a nature check.
Oh, that's really bad. It's gonna be 12.
Well, okay. You've heard about these before. As you sit inside your city bars and hear the folk tale from the other rangers that are out in the woods, this would be known as a carrion crawler.
Carrion crawler.
Yeah, and you probably suspect that it has been around for the dead bodies that you guys just left.
That makes sense.
It was looking to feast, and it hurt you guys down the way.
Senses vibrations.
Do you know if there's any sort of tale that they travel in packs or if they're usually alone?
While you're having this conversation, you hear a
Yeah, really. Figured it'd be best to ask and we prepare ourselves.
It doesn't say. They can travel in packs. They can travel alone. But
But this one isn't like a female that just looked like it gave birth or anything like that. Nothing.
no, nothing gives you that type of
Vibe.
vibe. Really, the type of vibe comes from the fact that death is its food, and those bodies have been sitting out for a while.
So, would the skin on it, kicking it, it's just rubbery, it's not hard of any sort?
Yeah, it's more of like just like I mean, kind of like a.
So not worth like
Carapace.
skinning, not at all.
You
Like a
can
bug.
certainly try.
I wouldn't want to. I'd suggest somebody else.
Yeah, I
do
was
it.
gonna ask the same question. Is there anything worth on it that's worth anything to use for anything?
That would be a question for emerging.
Do you want to try to tear it apart, somebody?
No.
I shake my head no.
I'm gonna take a short rest.
We have no time. For
Go
a
ahead.
rest, I don't think.
I'm sitting against this wall.
I think we should just continue moving.
I'll catch up.
You're actually taking a short rest.
That's 30 minutes you're going to be behind. We're going to be there and be done by the time you're back.
Can we get a short rest when we're closer? Or was that actual spell slot?
I'd say,
But you
come on,
can't
General.
spell.
We'll
I
protect
mean,
you.
then short rest will help you.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
afraid
yeah,
of.
I don't mind chilling for a little while.
How long is a short rest again?
30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Not terrible.
Is that what you guys doing?
Alright. I'll post up and like try.
30 minutes isn't. Grab a snack.
I guess I'll skin the fucking crawler if we're gonna be hanging around.
Alright.
I drop bear form then for a sit around.
What do I gotta roll?
With that would be a survival check.
To skin it?
To skin it, yeah.
Well, I'm not terrible at that. We'll see. Natural 20. That's when I roll it?
So,
Jesus. So that's a 22.
22. So we'll say as you begin, what are you using to skin it?
He borrowed a knife from me.
His pocket knife.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I got a blade.
Okay. Is that what
I
you're
have
gonna
4 daggers.
Yeah, I can use a
You need a
dagger.
dagger.
Yeah, a dagger would probably be better.
Okay.
Somebody had a dagger, I'll use a dagger.
So,
That's more
as Hezcarl sets off to the side and kind of catches his breath for a little bit, Neb is kind of watching post. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
That's gonna be perception. That's gonna be a 16.
Okay. As you're watching out, you don't notice any other movements per se. Again, you're hearing the coyotes and stuff in the distance, but just general, prairie or
Critter noises.
yeah, plateau type noises. The rest of you guys watch as Red, with almost surgeon-like precision, starts going at this creature, and we'll say you cut off. And 30 minutes is not too terribly a long time, so we'll say you cut off about a 3-foot chunk of carrion crawler hide. And as you remove it, it just seemed very lucky with the area that you chose to cut. As you remove and this semen goo comes pulling off, you look down inside for a second into the gut, and you see a probably about a softball-sized green gland, and you are like, okay. So you kind of go in and you etch it out a little bit, and you also have a poison gland.
Oh.
So,
Alchemy.
yeah, that's gonna be dope. Alright, cool. 1 carrion crawler poison gland. Got it.
You know when that can come in handy.
Yeah, make something cool with
It's pretty awesome.
Alright,
Yes.
y'all ready to get going?
Alright, let's hit the road.
Hey, the other thing I
Bandage my
want to ask you
wounds,
too
catch
is
my breath.
and you should
I'm
be doing this
good.
with me.
What?
The herbalism thing, as we're traveling,
Oh yeah, I have
I want to be watching, like, see if I see anything that you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like those checks I was talking to you about. Because when we're in different wildernesses, they have there's different things, foliage and stuff like that. So I wanted to start doing those checks. I meant to do it last time.
I am
I used 2 hit
proficient in
dice to regain
Yeah,
17
so
hit points up to 38.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
For
sorry.
35.
That was my fault.
35.
I don't want the liquid to cook out of it.
Roll 9 and it's 8.
Damn.
I get 10 hits.
Sorry.
Yeah, I have a D10.
Do you get your lay on hands back from a short rest?
Long rest. I'm at 20 of 25 though.
All right. So as you guys pick back up and begin to start moving again, if you want to keep an eye out for herbalism stuff, it will slow the speed of the party.
We can do it later.
We'll pick your flowers.
Yeah, we'll do it
On-
later.
On our
Party.
way back or
Who
something.
cares?
Alright, so as you guys continue, you do notice that the moon is now incredibly high in the sky, shining down on you. So we'll go ahead, and that was... so to pick back up on the trail, go ahead and line everybody back up into your walking order, please.
You said you're out of bear form?
Yeah.
We'll just leave it on the map for now.
Put me next to Ned.
Next to Ned, you want to be up there with him?
Yeah.
I'm right behind him. That's fine.
We'll be talking about our war stories when we were with the Emerald Enclave over our year-long break.
Yes, that's right. Over wild, groovy adventures in the forest.
Alright. And then, so Neb, if you're continuing to lead, please go ahead and give me another survival check.
This would be an 11.
11? Okay. You continue to follow the trail as it starts to wind through this maze of ravines. There's you start to see inlets and outlets, lefts and rights, and you do begin to notice that the walls of the ravine are getting taller. They're probably starting to give way to plateaus at this time. At this point,
We're not going to fall for this again. Can I have someone walk up top?
I cast Spider Climb on Red.
so the when I say that they're getting higher, they're getting about 50 feet higher.
50 feet.
50 feet.
Yeah.
I'll still
They're
cast Spider Climb on
noticeably
you.
getting larger, and again, you're 30 feet. You're right now, your ravine is 30 feet wide.
And if we're looking ahead, is it opening up more and more and more?
It appears to be opening up.
It's better to have an eye in the sky than
Do I see any?
not at all.
Do I see anything ahead of us?
Give me a perception check.
That would be 16.
Currently, no, you don't see anything.
All right. I'll freaking dive over to the left and
So put him 30 feet to the left.
30 feet to the left.
Yeah.
Well, the
Will be
ravine's
15,
15.
15.
And
5,
then-
10, 15.
This would be 15.
No, because he was
From
here.
me.
He
From
was
me?
here.
From
he,
me?
he was next to you, Dad. 5, 10, 15.
Him and I walk in the back.
You can't take up the same spot. That's
It's 30. Hold on. Just listen to me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. 5, 10, 15. 5, 10, 15. 5, 10, 15. So there's the size of the wall.
Yeah,
If he's
if you
up
wanna
on the
climb
wall.
up, it's an hour.
he's walking out.
it's an hour. Oh, I'm making him pull out all those little things.
toys.
You know he's been dying to use them.
So you're about that high up.
Yep. I'm gonna do the old perception check again. Now that I have a different vantage point.
Can you only do that on one person at a time?
I think so.
That is 15.
Okay. So the landscape begins to reveal small vegetation like brush. It stands about 3 feet tall. Off to the sides, it's speckled here and there. You see that the grass that you guys have been walking through is actually getting taller.
Down
you
in
guys
the
are-
ravine?
Yeah,
Okay.
as you guys are moving towards it. Because I
Okay.
assume you're walking while this is happening, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We travel out.
As you guys begin walking down in the ravine, off to your right, a caribou jumps out of a thicket. You guys kind of startled it as it was resting and just kind of pounces off down the trail.
Okay.
So this will be the third stealth check.
All of us, you said?
Yeah.
Oh god, I rolled
Nice.
the same thing on both of them again.
25. 25.
18.
25, 18.
13.
23.
9.
Plus the
13.
being evaded.
Okay. I rolled an 8.
You rolled some poop.
So you guys continue passing your way down through the ravine. Go ahead and travel for about another 20 minutes.
Can I do a survival check to see how fresh, if the tracks look like they've just happened?
Sure.
Good call.
Crit, that's gonna be 27.
Okay. These look a few hours old.
Okay.
There are many tracks here, so it's almost impossible to engage numbers.
Yeah.
But there are very old tracks. There are very new tracks.
Okay.
So within the last couple of hours, probably would line up with the timeline she last saw somebody coming from the ravine.
Okay. Cool. Alright.
Okay. And then third and final survival check.
That's gonna be a 22.
Excellent. So, walking, the path turns south, and then it starts to bend east again. At this point in time, you are at the top of your ravine. You're gonna have to come back down to join.
Steve,
Or-
how long have we been traveling for at this point?
Right now, little over an hour.
Okay, after Red comes back down, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Hostile Trace on everybody.
Okay.
Alright.
So Red comes back to join the group. Normal position here.
He was next to Carl.
Next call.
Behind me.
We good?
Too long on the trail.
Alright, so the path turns south and then bends back east again. This particular ravine begins to widen into about 300 feet. And as it opens up, you see this massive hollow inside of a rocky plateau. In the pale moonlight, you can see what looks to be an almost horseshoe-shaped hollow that is several hundred feet long and a few hundred feet wide. The sides of the plateau rise sharply, about 150, 200 feet, while the floor of the chateau begins to elevate as it gradually heads up east. You see that there are several places along the sides of the slopes of the plateau, or of the hollow, where piles of massive boulders have fallen from erosion from the cliffs above over the years. The brush around the site is patchy, and it grows to about 4 to 6 feet high. And the floor of the hollow is dotted with several tents.
Alright.
Go ahead and give me a last stealth check.
Plus 10.
Oh, is it plus 10?
This will be a 12.
30.
12 with plus 10.
Yes.
Okay.
30.
30.
Yeah.
23.
23.
29.
29.
17.
17.
16.
16.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, with my... Oh, I didn't have my modifier. So no, I'd be like, 17.
17. Okay.
That's more like it. Sorry, didn't put that on there.
As you guys begin walking through, you hear Neb is just kind of like grunting as he's pushing his way through this tall grass. Kind of comes out to the side, and you guys find your way back onto the path, and you see six humanoids raise up off to the side, and they slowly begin to move towards you guys. You get the idea that they've seen you, but they're just slowly moving towards you.
Don't kill him on the head.
Shut up. Fan out.
Are there any trees or rocks around this time?
There are trees and rocks, yes.
Okay.
No trees, it's just the brush.
Just brush.
Yeah, it's
Well,
just the
just
brush
lay
and the
down.
grass, things like that.
Alright, it's decision time. We've already been seen.
Why don't we just
So
go
do
talk
we
to
just
him?
stumble in like we belong here?
I
You
think
know,
so.
start acting like we're out of breath, you know. I can show him the carrion crawler hide that we cut off the fucker that fucked us up. You know, we can.
About how far away
I
are
don't know.
I just feel like
Right
we
now
don't
they're
look
about
like
10
we
feet. They're
belong.
walking
It's
up
all
on you
you.
quickly.
Oh,
Okay.
so yeah.
We don't know that for sure though.
They see
get
us for
behind.
sure.
I'm gonna try
They're
to.
pretty positive they see you.
Yeah, they're walking to us, right?
Yeah, and they're about within 10 feet of you.
Do they look angry?
You can't tell because it's
They have
dark.
weapons?
Well, night vision. You can't tell because they have hoods drawn.
Do they have weapons?
Yes, they are holding longbows.
Longbows, no
They have them
swords.
drawn.
They're not drawn.
Okay. Don't
I'm
be
not gonna fight.
aggressive just yet.
Yeah.
Aye.
They kind of move their way into you, and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Just stumbled in.
Yeah, you're scaring away our prey.
What do you think?
Right.
We'll be down.
Yeah,
What are you looking
make
for?
your way back to the camp.
Alright,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
go.
alright.
Let's go. Come on.
And with that, you guys start to pass, and they start to walk by. Go ahead, everyone, give me perception checks.
Yes.
7.
5.
6.
14.
14.
19.
You two notice just by as they slink away, they're very super quiet and moving, and they kind of fan out as they go. You notice that they're not wearing any armor. That they're wearing what looks to be like, light leather clothing, and their hoods. Nothing about them says that they're Cult of the Dragonish. You kind of get the idea that maybe this is a pack of hunters that are out hunting the caribou on the plain.
Good luck, fellas.
Gonna bonk him on the head again.
Damn it, stop doing that. Maybe you learn.
Okay, so you guys make your way further into the ravine.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So everyone give me perception checks again.
20.
What?
5.
Nothing.
You were what? What?
Nothing.
14.
I'm with it. You spoke.
I was thinking about trying something.
What?
I was thinking about pulling out my bow and kind of skating off into the grass, like kind of near them, and see if I see a caribou.
Okay.
I figure if I could take one down and carry it into camp, that would be fucking probably pretty dope.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think?
So if that's what you do, that's what you do.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So red breaks off.
I break off. I
As
tap.
you
I
guys
tap
move
Pescar on the
into-
back. I say, "I'll see you in a minute." And I just kind of go off into the brush.
And he breaks off. Okay. So hold off on those perceptions. No, keep the rolls. Keep the rolls. Just hold off on them right now. So go ahead and roll an investigation check.
All right. This is not gonna be good. Straight 14.
14. Okay. You hang out for a second, looking around. You don't see any caribou.
Okay. I'm not that far from them, right?
They're kind of moving away.
Oh no.
Yeah, they're kind of moving away. So their distance is going to get greater if
Okay.
you stay.
I'm gonna
I got an idea. Why don't I disguise myself as a caribou and you just throw me over your shoulder?
Can you disguise
Yeah,
yourself
but then
as
when they want
animals?
to put you
Yeah.
on fire,
What
Oh.
could possibly go
I know.
wrong?
That's what I'm saying. So does the
That'd be a
grass?
small caribou.
Does the grass continue?
I can be any
on the
size I
side?
want.
Yes.
I can be anything
All right,
I want.
so I'm gonna follow them.
That sounds like
I'm
a
gonna
good
stay in the.
So you're still gonna be moving out because this is opening into the horseshoe.
Okay.
They're moving this way, and you would have to be moving this way.
Oh, I'd have to move away from them.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just jump back in with them then. Fuck it.
Okay.
I don't
The
know
other thing
if
is,
they're ready for them.
you're engaging into the camp. You would to find the caribou. You'd have to go the way that they were going. They were leaving the camp,
Right, which is yeah,
so you would be going the opposite
because
direction.
there was grass on both sides of the path, right?
Correct.
So I had gone up this side, and you said I didn't see anything.
Correct.
So, all right, I'll just catch back up with the group.
Okay, so you. All right, so now back to the perception checks.
Sorry.
20.
Figured I'd do something If I scored one, that would have been amazing.
I got a 5.
1 second.
You said perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
17.
17.
9.
Nice.
23.
23.
Five.
14.
Target a caribou. Can't do anything else.
No. Alright. So, Smidge. You see that the trail that you're on. So everybody sees this. I'm going to go with the lowest score to the highest. And then you guys can talk about what you see. If you so choose. Smidge, you notice that, or all of you notice that the trail leads into the center of the hollow and seems to branch off into different points, leading to different clusters of huts. Red and everybody, not me, notices that on your left, where you came from, there stands a guard tower, about looks to be about 20 foot high, and it appears to be large enough to host quite a few outworks. So this is everybody but you two. Ned, everybody else. As the incline of the land rises eastward, it looks to give this hollow what appears to be like a second tier of landmass, where there are another few clusters of tents off in the distance, and then another similar guard tower very far away. This one is high up on the cliff towards the top of the plateau. You can also see behind that second level row of tents the top of a very large tent. Seems to be much larger than the other tents, and it's way in the back. And behind that, you can barely make out what looks to be an opening of a cave. With that, Bryson, you can tell that in between the first couple of huts are off to your left and your right, about 100 feet away from where you are. And behind the first one on the right, there's a separation by a thick brush, and then there's another set behind that. That's another right. The guard tower looks to be made of like rough timbers that have been strewn together with rope. It stands 20 feet high, and on the top of the guard tower, you can make out what seems to be, this is you two, sorry, Cinder, both of you. You can make out what seems to be 8 winged kobolds. There is no ladder that accesses that tower. They are equipped with heavy crossbows, and they have these horned trumpets hanging from their sides. As the incline of the land rises and gives away to that second area, the second guard tower, you see the other sets of huts that are same thing. They're separated by this thick brush in between them. Before the land rises up, you do notice 2 smaller huts that kind of set in the center, and they seem to be by themselves. Once you get up to the top of the plateau again, you can see in the second guard tower, you can make out what seems to be 6 humanoid-like figures on patrol, walking around.
These are on the 2 smaller ones?
This is on the the higher guard tower. They appear to be holding longbows, And you can also kind of make out the same trumpet horns on the side. As you move a little forward to get more of a view, you see the entrance of the cave, and it seems to be heavily guarded by lots of entities. You can't really quite make them out at this distance, but there does seem to be a presence of stuff there.
Okay.
So you are at the mouth of the camp. Harbingers of Vengeance. What would you like to do?
For the humanoid figures we've seen, do they?
You two have seen.
Yeah, I see some tents up ahead, guys.
Did they appear to be heavily armored, or?
You couldn't make out from here.
Okay.
Other than the guards, it's pretty empty. Like, there's not people up walking around because it's so late at night.
So from this angle, you can't tell, but the way that the huts are constructed, and the incline of the land, you can't kind of see what's going inside the clusters of tents. But there are about 8 clusters. 2 on the first level, a third very close to the guard tower on the second level, 3 that dot the middle, 1 off to the back, the large tent, and the cave.
I'm intrigued by that big tent. I think we should try to sneak and see what's going on in there.
Do you guys see that cave over there?
Yeah.
It's pretty heavily guarded. That's big trouble. I think we just need to stay away. I'm thinking our lazy friend in the sky is there. Possibly.
So is Rezinar.
I don't think Rezinar will be in there.
Question for everybody. We're looking for Liaosin, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think they're gonna keep prisoners in the huge tent?
Nope.
I don't think so.
They keep them on the side.
So where
Behind.
So we need to find where they're keeping the what they consider low life. They're not gonna have anything special.
I want to speak with Rezinar.
We're not speaking with Rezinar. We need to get on.
need to.
Who was that?
You're gonna die. You are not thinking smart.
My handwriting's
You said
ugly.
the
I
two,
can't read.
the 2 tents on the bottom level are off to the left, right?
They're about 100 yards from your current position. They're off to the left, and well, they're actually both off to the right. So,
Off to the right?
Yeah. So there's one 100 feet from you to the right.
Okay.
Then there's this thick brush that runs kind of like almost like cul-de-sacing it.
Okay.
And then on the other side of that is the second cluster.
And there's a guard tower near those?
The guard tower is off to the left.
Around that area.
Yes.
Okay.
My brain's having trouble visualizing.
There's like 2.
Are there windows in these huts that you can see?
You make a perception check.
So we get 10.
There
huts
do
or
not appear to
tents?
be. There, yeah, tents.
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 And
Sorry.
we don't see any people anywhere yet.
Currently, you're still 100 feet away from the camp,
bunch
so
of
you don't
yards.
see any kind of movement in your view right now.
We can't. Can we see any light sources?
You do see the
I need to be fine.
area. The tented areas are illuminated with what looks like fire.
But behind the tents.
Yes.
So the tents are like blocking the view of the. So there's some
Usually
campfires.
around
There's
the
some
left.
campfires probably. I mean, I'm thinking, we try and stroll in and see. Maybe we pick the food tent area. You know what I'm saying? Like we stroll in, like we're hungry, and see what we run into. I don't know. I don't think sneaking around is gonna be a good idea.
I can cast invisibility on one person. If someone just wants to walk around and walk.
It's one of you 3.
But then we're gonna lose pass without trace.
I don't think we need to be
So then-
necessarily all sneaking
Yeah,
around.
like I said,
Well,
we all
I'm
can't
saying I
sneak
could
in
always
there
cast
anyway.
it again if I need to.
I'll go in. What am I
But-
looking for? What do you want me to look for?
Who has the best stealth though, everybody? Right. Are you very stealthy?
I only have plus
Well, you can always
1, but
disguise
I have
yourself.
plus
I can
6.
disguise myself
I
and then
plus
you can
four.
cast
Plus six,
invisibility
I'm
on
plus
me.
How long can
I'm
you be
plus 4.
disguised for at a time?
A long time.
Yeah, but you're at disadvantage.
I think it's an hour, yeah.
I went to go speak to Reznor.
I think
I
that
mean,
is
I
a bad
understand,
idea.
man. I just
Don't
You
have
know?
to come with me. It made me look better if I go by myself.
Isn't it like
if that's what you want to do.
Lansmore or something? Yeah, Lansmore.
You shook your head when I just stepped off to go kill a big caribou real quick, like I was making a terrible decision.
Yeah, it's an hour
So,
disguise.
you know, it is what it is, man. Do what you want to do.
I have a question on how someone else's spell works. Say Smidge is out walking around, I cast invisibility on her, and say she sees somebody, like once she sees what someone looks like, could she like cast disguise self on herself while she's still invisible? So then when she isn't
It's
invisible
your
anymore,
concentration.
yeah, I know, but
So I
like,
can cast a
but-
spell on myself then.
but
That's what
like
you're saying.
without
But
her
I think
actually.
invisibility ends with the casting of an action by whoever's invisible.
So you would have.
Yeah.
So if she cast a disguise self before she went in, but then when invisibility drops, then she would still be disguised.
Correct.
So I could
How long does
cast.
invisibility last?
So I could
1 hour.
disguise myself as
Yeah.
a human hunter, like the ones we just saw, wearing the light leather with a bow of some kind. And she can cast invisibility on me, and I can go in, and that way, if her invisibility breaks, then I would be under disguise still, right?
Yeah.
Or we could
Only
walk in
problem
a little
is
closer and we can see
you're
what
3
someone
feet
in
tall.
there looks like. And
No,
then who
because
is one of those people.
she says she's going to do disguise self,
Yeah.
then take and cast.
Right, but does disguise self change your body size?
Yep.
It does.
I can
So
do
it
whatever I
gives
want.
you an illusion. So she would look exactly and move like a 6 foot tall human.
But
Right.
if somebody were to
So
try
if
to
somebody
touch
tried
my
to grab her
face,
shoulder,
Yeah.
They
right?
would go right through
it
the
would go right
illusion.
through. That's what
Right,
I'm saying.
'cause
So
I'm so
maybe,
tiny.
maybe you got to do somebody that's the same size
Why does
as
it
most
matter?
of these human beings. Because if they grab my shoulder, they'll still get a shoulder. You know what I mean?
Honestly,
But, I mean, it's up
you
to
can
you.
disguise
I don't
yourself.
care.
And that might.
'Cause she, yeah, that's true. She can disguise herself, so I can't do that.
Can't you
so.
fly around? Do we see any
I
animal life?
don't think I have flying speed. Steve, that's actually a question I had for you. Is when you don't go as like Circle of the Moon, you go as a regular one, you don't get flying speed till level 8, but you also can't go into CR level 1 until you're level 8 too. So I didn't know if when you take Circle of the Moon, you can fly at earlier levels like I can, because I tried Googling it, I didn't have an exact answer, so I didn't know if
I don't know.
you did. Okay.
So
That
off
was
the
just
top of
something
my
I was
head, don't
thinking
know.
about.
Yeah.
Is like Chris, I've looked it up, but it's because some things like you don't get swimming speed or flying speed till you're certain levels, and I couldn't exactly find the answer to that question. So I don't know if I can just fly around, Chris.
Okay.
That.
Well, I can also. We still didn't look into rituals, Steve. I can cast Find Familiar, which is a ritual, and I can summon a celestial, or what do they call it?
The Fae?
Yeah, and it can take on any form I want. It can be a rat, an owl, a deer, any animal basically. So if I wanted to, I could take 10 minutes to summon, and then I can, within 100 yards of myself, I can see and hear anything they hear. I become blind and deaf myself, but then I can control it, and it can go wherever I want.
That's a good idea.
That'd also be a good idea to get in and see what.
Yeah,
The
like I
inside
could summon a
looks like?
rat, and I could just see through his eyes and just go run through as far as I can.
How long does that take?
What is a rat's movement speed?
Let me check. I'm trying to find the spell.
I think I'm almost positive that's how Find Familiar works.
It is.
So you would have to choose which animal.
You do like
Okay.
a mosquito, like a big moth or something.
How long does it take to cast like a ritual spell?
10
10
minutes.
Something that can fly around.
I have
it's
something
gonna
like
buzz
that,
in.
I think.
Okay, you gain the service of a familiar, a spirit that takes an animal form you choose. Statistics of the chosen form, celestial, fae, or fiend instead of a beast. It acts independently of you, but it always obeys your commands. In combat, it rolls its own initiative and attack. We don't need to worry about that. While your familiar is within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically. Additionally, as an action, you can see through your familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn.
How far does that connection last? Because you can communicate.
100
from
feet.
feet. Okay.
Um,
So 100 feet from where you currently are right now would give you the two camps. The one to your right, immediately to your right, and the one to the left. That's on the second ridge. That's behind the guard tower.
and what do you mean the camps?
So
They're all split up little tent communities.
little
They're
tent
kind of split up from
communities.
each other.
So the one that's closest to you is 100 feet away, and it is off to the right.
Okay.
The other one that's within 100 feet of you is off to the left, past the guard tower, up on top of the second level of the hollow as the incline goes up.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and summon a familiar then.
Okay.
Why not, right?
It's a pretty dope spell.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, great idea.
I like it.
I can do a flying one or I can do a rat.
I would suggest flying because you're gonna get better movement.
Oh yeah, how do I figure out the movement on these, Steve?
Look it up in the
Yeah, you'd have to look it up.
Oh.
I don't think I would recommend flying though, considering the kobolds. The flying kobolds are flying.
I think just a, let's see.
Yeah, it seems
I mean, it could be a
innocuous.
frog, but that sounds kind of slow. A lizard? Lizards are pretty fast. A poisonous snake.
Yeah.
A spider? Too slow.
Like
I think
bat.
a rat. Bat.
I was just thinking that a bat might be cool. Nighttime.
Yeah.
That's
You
not
know,
all.
nobody's gonna blink twice.
I think a
if a bat
rat,
flies by.
because a bat can't really, like, just be in
Yeah.
one spot, but a
Yeah.
rat can just chill on the side and kind of
Okay.
Yeah.
hide in the shadows, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna summon a rat.
Okay. So with that, you see Smidge. How do you summon? What's the ingredients?
huh?
What are the ingredients?
Charcoal, incense, and herbs.
Okay. So keep in mind, because we haven't had a shopping episode yet.
Right.
When we do have a shopping episode, you need to pick those things.
Okay.
So for the sake of this, we'll say you do have these things. So you see as she kind of goes off to the side, starts mulling some charcoal in her hand and pulls out a little bit of dried herbs and lights some incense. And she begins whispering and muttering for about 10 minutes, kind of just focusing in her hand. And then out of nowhere you see this little tiny rat appear in her hand, and it's got gray eyes, but it's looking at you and it's quiet.
And I'm gonna communicate with it telepathically, and tell him to. What are we looking for exactly, guys?
Trying to see what's in the tents, I believe.
In the tents?
Who and what's in the tents? Yeah.
If they see any humanoids.
You can see through his eyes.
Yeah.
I can, but I will be blind and deaf, so I don't really want to do that unless.
Well, we could
Well, I mean, we're staying
touch,
with you.
reach for you if we need you. And can you?
Yeah, you're blind and deaf. You can still talk.
I can, but they won't be able to tell me anything. But that's
No.
fine. Well, I can look through. I can
Well,
run
we
around
can
as
still
him.
shake you. If, like, if you're seeing through their eyes, can you stop that at will?
Can I what?
Stop
Yes.
seeing through them at will?
Yes. Yes.
So we can just shake you if we need
Yeah.
you.
All right.
It's not
So
like
I'm
you're-
going
Yeah,
to.
you would feel them shaking. If
Oh,
they
I know.
speak to you, you just wouldn't hear them.
Yeah, I
And
wouldn't
they would,
see
if
them
they
or
were like,
hear
hey, look
them.
at this. I drew a picture. You'd be like, I'm in my rat.
I'm in my rat. All right. Then yeah. So I'm
So
gonna
any-
go. I'm going to
Do you have a name for this rat?
put me on the spot. I'm not creative. Hold on.
Ben, like the movie.
No.
Chuck.
The rat's name is.
Matt.
Tar.
Pat.
I like that one.
Really good.
The rat's name is
Cleavon.
Ren.
Ratty?
Ren.
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 Okay.
Ren the rat.
So what do you tell Ren the rat to do? He's just looking at you.
I like it. From Ren and Stimpy.
Yep.
He's kind of cleaning his nose.
All right. Listen up. We're gonna go down to this camp. We're gonna scout. We're gonna look in all the tents. See what we can find. Ready?
Be stealthy.
Be quiet. Stay in the dark. Don't be seen. And don't eat. I'll feed you when you get back.
familiar.
Right. It just sounded cute.
But you can though. You can.
You might like it.
Yeah, you can feed them.
That's true.
So you
I
set
guess
them
they
down.
are a ghostly being or celestial being.
So you set them down.
Yep, I set him down.
So you set them down, and you see he just.
And he can communicate with me
All
telepathically.
right. So.
Right.
I think the way that it works is that you have to get into his eyes to see what it is. That's you can communicate to him telepathically by being like, turn
Oh
left,
yeah, go
go
that.
right. But he's not
Right.
gonna go in and be like, yo, check it out. There's this here.
Okay,
You
so I
have
do
to-
need to actually
You
use
need to
his
tap
senses
into
now.
him. Yeah.
Okay, so alright, I'm going to sit down and I'm going
You
to
should squat right on top of
I was
the
gonna ask, is
on
there
top
any
of
way
the
we
water.
can get closer?
This is already done.
yeah.
You could.
No, I'm saying from my viewpoint of our situation, can I get her closer without being like disturbed in anything or being seen?
You haven't seen anything that would suggest that.
She can be like sitting.
Yeah,
in
the
Other
closer
than
we can
maybe
get
the
her,
birds.
the more range the rat has, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean the
I'll carry her. I don't care.
100 feet is only so that I can communicate with it. It can go as far as I want it to. But yeah, if I wanted to try to get closer to go further, then we can figure
Yeah,
it out.
it can go. I think a mile away.
But it
It-
can't tell her shit.
She can still see through
I
it.
can see through it
but
at 100
she can't
feet.
tell it turn left, go right.
Right.
So he'll just start going wherever he wants.
Right.
Yeah, but if I tell him to go look for something, he'll go do it. He takes all of my commands. So I'm going to see if there's a tent that's empty that we might be able to relocate to, so that I can get closer to these guard towers you guys were talking about. Possibly send Ren up to those guard towers to see what's there. So he's looking for a closer tent at this point that's empty that we could relocate to.
Alright. Are you sending it to the left or to the right?
To the right.
To the right. Okay. So you see as he is making his way through this tall, thick grass, bouncing in and out, up and down, going over. He begins to approach the first area. As he approaches,
He.
as he approaches this cluster of tents, you see 3 circular tents. They look to be about 25 feet in diameter, and one tent that is about 10 feet in diameter.
Mm-hmm.
They're about 30 feet apart from each other,
Mm-hmm.
and they each have their own individually worn paths,
Mm-hmm.
as if they've been walked on a lot,
Okay.
leading to the opening in the slits of the tent. They kind of, and he's up towards
The first tent?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna tell him to peek his head inside the first tent,
Okay.
and I'm going to take control of his senses so I can see inside of it.
Okay, sure.
Oh, sorry.
So, as he approaches and starts making his way into the tent, you can see that the tents themselves only stand about. You can see that the tents themselves only stand about 5 feet tall, and they are crudely built from closely spaced wooden straps and bone poles.
Closest.
They are
Like Christmas.
they're covered in hide and mud and sod. The outside of the tents themselves are decorated with various animal skulls. There is a large fire pit in front of the center hut, where you see about 40 to 45 kobolds. They're actively moving around. Some are cooking over the fire. There's this elk that has been that they're cooking up and making for dinner over the open flames. Others are drinking. Others they're laughing. Some are playing some manner of gambling game with these bones. As you make your way inside the first large tent to the right, you see what appears to be sleeping quarters for where these kobolds would sleep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna take my senses back to my body,
Okay.
so I'm not in his eyes anymore, and I'm gonna tell them what I saw. So there's like 40 to 50 kobolds down there partying by the fire.
Sounds like the wrong community to me.
I don't
want
think.
me to sleep.
I know, right?
They're not gonna tell us shit.
So I'm telling Ren to come back
Okay.
now.
So you're only going into the one tent?
I'm gonna go. Well, yeah. I mean, there's no way that we can go down there if there's 40 kobolds right outside
Okay,
of it.
sure.
So I want to look at the other side of the left side instead
Maybe
of
they
the
have somebody tied up in a tent. You know?
Huh?
Maybe they have someone tied up in a tent. Maybe someone we know.
I mean, I can send them into the other tents if you want.
Get hurt.
How long does it last?
It doesn't have an end.
He
to it.
has like I think 5 hit points, or I think you have to roll his hit points, but it's like a D4.
No. And it's just until he dies.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
If he
then-
goes down to 0 hit points, he disappears,
and you can resummon him.
and I can resummon him. Yeah.
Oh, so if we like moved in there and like we stop somewhere, you can just like, okay, I want to look through his eyes.
Yeah.
Again? Oh.
Cool. Alright.
So we can send him anywhere because
Check
I
the
can
other
tell
tent.
him.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we can keep checking the tents then.
So for the sake of brevity here, you make your way.
Let's have it come out.
What's daddy?
That's fine.
He makes his way into the other large tents, and you see the same type of thing.
Empty sleeping quarters.
Yeah, there are a few kobolds in there sleeping, not many,
Okay.
but yeah, these are sleeping quarters for the
kobolds.
kobolds.
Okay.
As he makes his way into the smaller tent, he does see what looks to be like some kind of makeshift shrine to Tiamat.
To what?
To Tiamat.
Tiamat.
Yes.
Who's Tiamat?
Tiamat is the queen of the chromatic dragons. All the
Chromatic
evil
dragons. Colored
So,
dragons.
you would also know that if you roll, everyone can roll a history check, I guess.
3.
9.
10.
12.
We are not very
18.
much.
1.
Very much history about Twitter.
Okay, so you three remember Castillan Red told you that kobolds are no fan of the daylight. So they are nocturnal by nature.
Oh, we should have been here during the day.
So, with that, you see these crude bones. You do see some nice Tiamat-like, the symbols and things like that that perhaps were given to them by the cultists as they set up the shrine. So this seems to be the living quarter area for these kobolds. And you see various kobolds. You see winged kobolds, you see non-winged kobolds. And again, they seem to be enjoying the spoils of their raids.
I want to go to the other side now.
Sure.
Let's see what's over there.
Okay. So, are you going straight across, or are you coming back the way you came and
Yeah.
moving back around? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to send the rat straight across the. For everybody to see a rat running.
Well, I meant not through the. I meant
Yeah.
not
Kobolds
through,
be like,
not
I'm
through the
hungry.
camp. I meant like from. So the shortest distance from Camp A to Camp B is this way. So he would go around the huts and then go this way, or is he coming all the way back to you and then go that way?
Coming back to me and then going back.
Okay, sure.
Otherwise, if he gets destroyed, we'll have to resummon him in another hour or 10 minutes.
Yeah, so we'll say that took about 10 minutes
Okay,
with the travel time.
that's fine.
Okay. So he makes his way around, circling through. He passes under the guard tower. And again, you can see that there are no, this is just a roughly construed guard tower, rough timbers and rope tied up.
Wait, he passed the guard tower the first time to get
No,
down to the tent?
This is how he's going back around to get to the tent.
Okay.
So he makes his way under the guard tower, and again, there's no way up. There's just the 8 winged kobolds up there. So the winged kobolds seem to be stationed. That's their area. The only access is through flying. It does look to be about. The base is about 20 by 20, and the walkway looks to be about 5 feet wide. So that's where the
But
kobolds
he could run up like a beam to get up to the top, right? He's a rat.
Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't.
But he's on his way to the other camp.
Yeah, he's moving to the other camp.
Okay,
That's
let's
just
do that
what
right
you
now.
see as he's moving.
That's fine.
Because I assume you tap back into it.
Yeah.
Alright, so you make it to the second tent community off to your left. So this is going to take a little longer because he's going up an incline. This is a very steep incline to get up to this. But he makes his way up there, and as he approaches these tents, he does see another two circular tents, about 25 feet in diameter, and two circular tents that are also about 10 feet in diameter. These ones are about 20 feet apart from each other, and they stand about 10 to 15 feet tall. They're sturdier and cleaner than the cobalt tents. Most of them are decorated with painted designs representing various chromatic dragons, and there is a large fire pit in the center of the huts. But the fire is very low, and what's his name again? Ren sees a few humans sitting around, just kind of grimly staring into the fire, kind of warming themselves. They do appear to be dressed as the 6 humans you saw.
The hunters?
Yes. So you're gonna go into the tents?
Yeah.
Okay. So the two larger tents appear to be, as he comes in, scurries in, looks around, you do see sleeping quarters for the hunters. Just various personal belongings. Again, nothing military about this. Nothing that would set off anything to say that these guys were necessarily cult members. And after he spends about 5 minutes in each tent, because these are the larger tents, he makes his way off to one of the smaller tents. It appears to be what looks to be like a taxidermy tent. So there's glue, there's knives, butchery type tools, or cutting like tools, and there are hides hanging on the walls from all the game that you assume that they've caught. The other tent, as you make your way in, serves as he walks in and you see a table in front of you, and you just see blood everywhere and entrails and organs and things like that. This does appear to be the butcher shop where they skin and butcher what they catch. And that is currently all he sees of this.
Okay.
So that was about 25 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell everybody what I saw.
Okay.
Do I need to actually tell everybody what I saw?
Yes.
Okay. So, on the left camp, looks like that's where the humans are. It's like taxidermy and butchering. It's where they sleep. I didn't see anything very important there. Then the other side is where the kobolds are. I only saw 6
humans in their gear?
Huh?
Were the humans in their gear? What were they wearing?
I didn't notice. It was the 6 hunters that we saw.
It was not the 6 hunters. They just looked like that.
Oh, okay. They look like the hunters that we saw. They're wearing like leather armor, and they were just sitting there around the fire. So we could try to get up into the guard towers if you want.
Well, my thought process here is, should I doff my armor and put on something that resembles what they wear? And I can go in and infiltrate, in a sense.
We could do that.
We're gonna have to talk to somebody at some point.
This entire time has just been laying down, relaxing,
Do you have a question?
taking a short rest.
Can the familiar hear things too, or just see stuff?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you can hear them.
Okay.
So you wouldn't have heard anything.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing important.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Cobalt camp, again, you're just hearing ruckus, like they're just partying.
Mhm.
The hunter tent is very quiet, very solemn. They're not really they're not really talking with each other. There were a few of them around the fire, probably about 3, and they're just bundled up, just kind of sitting there, not being
Passing
very
time.
social, not talking to each other, just in their own thoughts.
Humans aren't nocturnal, so my initial thought is if we're gonna walk in, we walk that way,
Yeah.
and not through the kobolds.
No, we definitely don't go through kobolds. And they're not going to be very useful either.
Do you think I should doff my armor
Was the
We
other
put it-
tent empty?
in the bag of holding for now?
The butcher tent?
Yes.
I can do that if you want.
We
The
could try to
butcher
get,
tent and the taxidermy tent were empty.
we could try to
So they weren't working on anything.
Well, it is nighttime. They wouldn't be in there working.
set something up over there.
Well,
as
8 of
our-
them are out hunting right now.
Yeah.
So if they bring something back,
Do we have
then they
any
will
type
start
of-
working.
Do we have any type of armor, leather, anything left in the bag of holding that I could put on?
I mean, I can disguise
Temporarily.
myself as anything, or
I mean, me and you can go together then.
All I have are clothes.
That's not a
And
bad
we-
idea.
that
She
didn't
could-
work.
She
Yeah,
could look like,
no.
she could look like, you know, straight up look like one of them. And,
Yeah, I mean, I think there was,
this guy won't be a big deal.
I mean, I wear leather
I
armor.
mean, there was, yeah.
The only problem I fear is that they're mostly humans.
yeah. Aren't they all
I'll cover
humans?
my ears.
She's got hair.
True. We're not that much different than a human.
I don't know, that facial structure might give it away.
They might not care.
Well,
They'll
when they
definitely
saw
care
us,
if I walk into camp.
well,
for
when
sure.
they saw us on the road there,
Me
when
too.
they walked by us when they were hunting, they told
Right.
us all to
I'll
get
know.
back to camp.
I'm
So
not
they
getting
assumed
outta
that
here
that's
in the
where we were
daylight.
from anyway.
Yeah.
That's true.
I say we approach them.
I mean, we gotta. Yeah, go ahead and do that. I
I
mean,
say we approach them.
probably a good idea.
Okay.
So you're going to the camp on the left.
Yes.
Okay. Are you go which way are you going? Are you going up the path and taking the path to their hut, or are you going up the incline?
What did the incline go
The incline was just straight there, passing the one camp.
to? We don't want the kobolds. to
No,
see
we
us.
want
That is-
Don's
Cold
kobolds.
camp, rather.
Just trail up to their.
Yep.
Yes, Mitch. Lead us the way that had the least people.
I'm leading them the way that had the least people.
Okay. So you're gonna go up the way Ren went.
Yes.
So again, you make your way kind of up through the incline. This is about a 100-foot incline. It's very steep. So you're like, as you see it, the you notice as you get towards the middle of the incline, 2 of the wind kobolds kind of turn and look at you guys, and then just kind of like turn back away.
Don't you roll that.
And you know, they whisper something to themselves. That's about it.
Can I see them? Because I can read lips. If I speak the language. that they
Sure.
speak.
You can see them.
But
Yes, you speak. Sure.
I speak. No.
Aw.
Don't you have observant too? Do you?
No.
Yeah, you did. That's the one.
I
that-
did.
Until
We took that away though,
What?
because I went back to being standard.
Oh, well, I
Because he
thought-
gave me that feat a while ago because I was helping him out with the note taking and stuff. But then when
Well,
we got far
gosh
enough and
darn
we got
it.
the
I
microphones,
thought you had that too.
I know,
Because I
I
know you speak
did.
Draconic.
I did, I do.
the days of yesteryear.
Can I see the expressions on their face? Do they look worried?
You make a perception check.
Is
Make
it,
an insight check.
is it just Bryson who are going up to the camp right now?
I thought everybody was
Or
moving.
we're all going? up there?
25.
25. They seem to kind of just shrug you off.
Okay.
Oh, we're all going?
Yep.
That's what I assumed. Are you all going?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they saw all of us?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
shrugged it off?
They were
Yep.
just,
Well then, fuck
Guys,
it, we're all going.
I hope they
then.
don't care.
I mean, if they don't give a shit.
they appear to not give a shit right now.
Yeah. Talk to the hunters.
What came itself
He
Okay.
didn't give her.
So, are all of you walking up to the top of the hill?
Mhm.
So you all kind of, what's the marching order?
I think what it is.
What it is-
Let's say I'm the top of the hill.
We're fine with the way
Who's
it is.
coming
Yeah.
to me first?
I guess that'd be me and Cinder.
Yeah.
Same marching order.
Okay.
Where's this guard tower?
You guys just walk by it.
And
Bryson,
Nothing?
you don't want to get up there and put your
The
smooth
kobolds
charms
not-
on someone?
Oh, it was the
It
kobold. It was the kobold guard.
Yeah, I
The
tower.
guess.
human guard tower is off in the back,
It's in the back,
very far back.
Up here.
so not like
there you go.
even way behind these tents we're going to.
Yes.
Okay.
Put
The-
me
so-
behind you with Ned.
I was just having trouble
You only
visualizing
felt
the
it.
whole layout of the land.
And Ren is on my shoulder now. He's just hanging out.
So
Get a little
the
worried.
top guard tower is probably about, as you guys crest the top of the hill, you take a look. It's probably about 600 feet away.
Oh, so it's pretty far. So. All right.
So you guys cross the top of the hill,
Sure wish I had a caribou to bring into camp. You know what I'm saying?
and you
Take
see
a caribou.
3 humanoids just kind of sitting around the fire.
Are they talking?
They seem to be talking now.
They moving?
I mean, you can tell that
Is
they're
there any-
alive.
Is there
They're
any
not
food?
sleeping.
They're not sleeping.
Is
That's
there
what I
any
was getting
food
to.
around?
You're asking them? Or?
No. Do we see any?
No.
There's no
Not in
like
this
pot of
area.
food or anything like that. Like nothing.
Not in this area.
Yeah, I'll just hang back.
Are they in their own tent or they're out around the fire?
They're out
They're in the
around the
fire.
fire.
They're by the
The
They're
fire.
fire is very low, so it would you may guess that they're getting ready to go to bed.
Do we want to talk to them? Or do we want to just... We could just say that we caught...
Well, you guys
minor
walked up, so
illusion,
they see.
right? Oh, well,
Yeah.
okay, go talk to them.
Do they say anything, or do they even?
They
make-
just
They just.
they see you,
They don't give a shit.
Yes?
not you, dear.
She's such a bitch sometimes.
Jesus, we started going so bad.
Guess I'll sit down across from them if they appear to be welcoming.
Sure. So you sit down. They're just kind of like eyeing you. The rest of you just standing behind you.
I'm going to walk into the taxidermy.
I'm just gonna go like over by like near one of the tents and just kind of sit down and lean up against it.
Okay.
There's 2 of them?
3.
3. And are they like right next to all on one log, kind of spread out?
Yeah. So we'll say there's 4 logs,
Uh-huh.
and they have the 3 back. The 2 side logs, the back log. Bryson's at this log.
Okay. I go sit down right next to one
Okay. So you sit down right next to him.
and just look at the fire.
You look at the fire. You sit across. What are you two doing?
I'm going into the taxidermy tent, but I'm gonna send Ren to the fire pit.
Into the fire pit?
No, over to where they are.
Okay.
So
Ren's
I'm gonna
cooking.
watch what's going on, but I'm gonna sit in the taxidermy tent with her and
You would be blind and deaf if you
Right.
watch through Ren.
Yeah, but
Right.
if Cinder's with her, she's fine.
Cinder's with me. I'm going into the taxidermy tent with her.
So Cinder would have to guide you because you are blind.
If we go into the taxidermy tent
Okay.
and I
then
sit
you,
down,
Okay, so you want to go into the taxidermy tent and then you want to go into.
that's what I said.
Okay.
We
I'm
want to
sorry,
double
I
check nobody's
misunderstood.
in there before she does all that.
Right.
So when before they walk away, I smack Cinder and say, "See if there's any food in there."
Okay.
And I just like lean back and
So
like,
you lean
put my
back
head
against
down.
the tent. What are you doing?
I'm just hanging back away from the fire, just kind of looking at my crab and chiseling off barnacles or whatever, just tending to him.
Okay.
Like it looks like something I just would do innocuously.
So as you guys sit down, you move lean against the tent.
I'm feeding him
Sit
some
down
like
and
just the salted herring I carry around, something
I
like that.
act like I'm nodding off. I'm listening the whole time, man.
Sure. As you two start making your way to your tent, one of them kind of barks up and says, "The fuck do you think you're doing?
going into the tent.
This ain't your area. It's impolite to just walk into somebody's house. Act
it?
like you own the fucking place. The cultists think you're fucking better than everybody, huh?
Cultists.
Aren't you sitting next to
I'm sitting across from them, but
No,
You're
I'm
gonna
leaning
have
to
my
the
back?
guy I'm sitting next to.
she's talking to me.
Oh, okay.
Our mistake. It's been a long day.
That's
We-
right.
So do you guys come back to the
Yeah.
Sure.
campfire?
Sorry about that.
I pipe up. I was like, "Hey man, is there any food in there?"
Nah, food's in the middle of the camp.
Dang it! I put my head back down. I don't say anything else.
Why are you running with these scummy cultists?
It's a pagan.
Other armies pay better. Just
I'm
need
no
to know where to
soldier,
work.
friend. give two shits about the political scene.
You're looking for a paycheck, is what I'm saying.
What kind of paycheck? What are you offering?
Looking for where they keep prisoners. Slide over gold.
Didn't keep your gold. Because I don't know. I'm just a hard-working man. A bunch of us here, that's all we are. Just hunters.
We still keep the gold for your troubles and your quiet.
Works for me.
You haven't seen us.
Who?
Good night.
I roll an insight to see if.
Sure.
Not bad. 15.
15? It's pretty obvious that these hunters don't particularly decide one way or the other. They're in this for the paycheck. If you wanted to ask them any more questions, you're more than welcome to.
How long you been running with these fools?
Maybe like 2-3 months. Pay's good. We get to keep the pelts from everything that we kill.
I put my head up again. I'm like, kill anything other than caribou?
Yeah, deer. Real game. It's all that we're here for. Kind of looks you over.
Put my head back down.
Can you tell me of you hearing of their movements and plans?
Nothing that comes to us. We provide a service. It's about all.
They sound like they're sticking around for a while.
I ain't heard any different. You get paid per game. As long as they're paying, we're here.
How long have you been here at this camp?
2-3 months.
Oh, 2-3 months. How long have you been with the team?
What team?
Well, I guess the higher ups.
I don't know the fucking IRS.
Okay. So you're just hunting game. You're out here hunting game. You're not out here to really partake in the raids.
I don't give a shit what these people do.
They're just feeding them.
Yeah.
You guys are asking a lot of questions.
I'm sorry. We've just been hiking out all
Maybe we
day.
should leave these hard-working men to rest.
That's right.
And let's
I kind of get the
continue
feeling
on.
that you aren't part of this group.
We'd
You
like to
definitely not. You definitely not.
Took
We
you-
wouldn't mind
took-
being.
Took you long enough.
The others, I've seen your kind around here before.
Like I said, I was buying your silence if it needs more.
I ain't saying nothing, friend. Just don't do anything to scare off my customers.
Works for me. Do mercenaries stay in any particular domicile around here? Guys like us?
I suppose you mean in terms of the fellas wearing the black.
Yes.
Yeah, the little area of the camp. It's kind of where old business is had. We do walk-up bars. No actual structure, but you go up there and get your booze. Mess halls up there. We got blacksmith and a few other shops. You don't spend much time up there, no need to. But it seems to be where a lot of them congregate, both mercenaries, as you call it, and the fellows in black. Off to the left of that is where most of the people who don't wear black stay. And off to the right, you don't see much movement out of that area. And then kind of in the far back right-hand corner, that's where all the black is.
Thank you, brother.
To be turned up top. By the cave.
Okay, with the tent in the middle.
Big cave, yes.
Right.
Who's up there?
That's where you'll find the wearers of the purple. Probably the purple. What's her name? Mondath. That's the one who employs us. Basis. It's a nice lady, I suppose. Real strict stone, straight to business. There was Louisville kind, obviously different colors. Hung out up there. Some fancy bloke walked around in red robes. Haven't seen much of him.
Lane Darcy. Debbie Lane Darcy, the one in the red.
I don't know his name. I don't know any of the names other than Mom and Dad, because she's the one that pays us.
Cool.
Alright.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
Do the same. I'm just scanning away my customers.
Let's hear out some grub is all. We gotta
Find
get
that
up.
in the middle of the camp.
Where are we gonna go now?
We don't
Go with the ones that don't wear the black.
Yeah.
Mercenary.
Work camp. Stroll up like we're.
Might be able to fit in better. Alright, let's go, I'm gonna head down to where he said the,
We're all going down.
ones don't really wear black.
Yeah.
The mercenaries.
Okay. So, from the tent area that you're at right here, okay, the elevation, this is all on the second level. The elevation kind of runs like this and around. You can see the two individual tents down here. And there is a thick growth of brush that kind of separates, and there's a small walkway that you would have to walk past out without going back down the slope to enter into the main camp area where he said all of the blacksmith, mess hall, walk-up bar, that type of stuff is. Their tent is to the left of that. Their tent huts are to the left.
Okay.
So which way would you like to go?
Go down the pathway.
Yeah.
Not trying to be too draw too much attention or be, you know.
So as you guys make your way back down the slope and come into what is basically the center road that looks most traveled, and you begin to get ready to ascend back up to the center part where of the camp, the two tents off to the side. You can see that they're two circular tents, about 10 feet in diameter, 10 feet apart from each other. They stand about 10, 15 feet tall. Again, these look more like the humanoid tents, not like the cobalt tents. Well constructed. You see paintings that have been stapled to the outside of these epic chromatic dragon battles on the outside. And there's a small fire pit towards the back of the huts. The fire seems to be burning pretty well. And outside each tent, you see what looks to be a male human standing in the right tent, and a female human that is standing at the left tent. And you guys begin to make your way around, and one of the guards, the male, speaks. Halt! Who goes there and what's your purpose?
We're just traveling around. We're looking for a friend of ours.
A friend of yours.
Yeah, looks like you.
Okay.
Looks like you and me. I mean, we're all friends around here, though. Right?
No, we're not friends around here.
Yeah, they're
What do you? What is this friend to you? And why would he be in here?
no.
Friend to me? I mean, anybody of interest is a friend to me.
I'm speaking to Riddle's friend, and I don't like it. Who are you, and what's your purpose?
Who are we talking to about getting paid for services rendered setting fires back in a village not too far away from here? This is our first rodeo in this particular camp, and we've been working with, we usually just on the road, mostly setting fires.
Okay. Go and make a deception check.
Deceptions. 13.
13. He kind of looks you guys up and down.
I like fire.
Waves like this. A female comes down and joins him. says, "No one enters without permission from the captain. No one enters in here without permission of the captain of the guard. Wait here, and I'll fetch it." He turns and he moves back. The female human continues to move and stand there, kind of watching you guys with her hand on a long sword. With that, you see him walk about 20 feet up. He kind of brushes open the side of the tent, enters. You hear a little muffled dialogue in the back. And then about 20-30 seconds later, he exits, holds the tent door open, and you see what looks to be a female elf with long blonde hair.
Just running with all types.
As she begins to make her way down, you see a half elf come out behind her and another human. And they make their way down and they come up next to you. You see that she's wearing what looks to be similar to the black robes that the individual was wearing at the ravine, except not quite as decorated. She has these shoulders that kind of come into a flying point, and she has black onyx jewels on the top of her shoulders and towards the center that are connected with a black rope. In the middle, she has a black pendant. She has a neck piece that goes all the way up to the sides of her neck, and you can see that she's wearing pretty heavy armor underneath. She kind of has her hands folded, and she walks on down to reach you. Give me 1 second, I'm not used to operating like that so well. I'm trying to do the whole thing through that right now. She approaches. "I am Darnell, captain of the guard. Welcome home.
It's good to be well. This is our first time here, but thank you.
Please, remind me, what raid were you a part of?"
What was the village called?
Green Rest.
Green Rest.
Ah, Green. I wasn't there personally, but I did hear it was quite profitable. So, you came to us via the South Road.
Yes, what a damn... What was that awful thing we had to fight on the way here?
Carrion crawler.
You gotta watch out for those disgusting things. They're hideous.
Oversized worm.
So that may explain your tardiness, as most of your troop has been back for quite some time now.
I did a number on us. We had to do a rest.
You will do as I say, or you will not enter my camp.
Of course, man.
You bring any news from the road?
Only the green hills and flaming ruins.
Nothing else.
Saw
It appears there was an
saw
attack
a bunch of dead
An
guys.
attack?
on one of the other troops. We saw as we passed.
Yeah, somebody got
In the ravine back a ways.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check
Me?
with it.
What advantage?
Because I was helping.
You go red. 12.
With that, she kind of looks you up
No,
and down.
I don't have any modifiers for charisma. That's my lowest. That actually strength's my lowest, but yeah, 0.
With that, she kind of looks you up and down. Says, "It's good to see another elf. There are very few of us here."
I agree.
Yes, well, as you have heard, our rear guard was, or have you seen, our rear guard was taken. Hence the reason for the more security measures that we have. But with the information that you provided, I see no reason why not to let you in. Whom do you report to?
Well, we had reported to that large dragonborn.
Lane Darza till he got himself killed.
Well, you'll be glad to know that he's okay now.
It's good news.
Excellent.
Let them go. I've heard enough. I suggest you find your dragon claw and report him so that you can finish your duties and get paid for your services.
Yes.
With that, she extends her hand, spreads her fingers wide, and says, "Praise Tiamat."
Aye.
Praise Tiamat.
Praise Tiamat.
She turns. The other guards nod, turn and walk back.
I'm like, as we start walking, I'm like,
What if she can read lips?
I covered
He
my
covered his
mouth.
mouth.
Yeah, I covered my mouth when I did it.
that's a hairy situation.
So you guys are now in to the cultist camp.
Lives to
proper.
die another day.
So your choices are to go left to hit the main area where all the business type area was. Left beyond that to where you were informed that the mercenaries may live, and then to the right where there was not a lot of activity.
So the right was where the black cloaked cats lived, right?
That's in the back, right. These three camps are kind of in linear. They're kind of in a line. So there's the one in the middle where all the businesses are.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one to the right where there's not a lot of activity.
Yeah.
When was the last
and there's
word you
one to the left
heard of
where
your
the
guy?
mercenaries stay.
That's what we're here
Before
for.
we left.
What information do we have? Right now, I feel we're just wondering if
Exactly.
we're blind.
So as you guys are kind of standing
We
here
got past the
walking,
guard
kind of
captain.
just browsing, having this conversation, you do see people moving back and forth.
From where?
Just
Just
areas.
wondering.
So you are talking constantly.
I mean, I say we roll into the main area. That's where
So
food-
it's the
that's
middle
where
of the
food's
night,
at, right?
and all these
That
people are
and
awake
That's
and just
hungry.
hanging out.
We'll go to the mercenary portion. I mean, it's I'm assuming it's about midnight now.
It's moon was high in
No.
the sky. We don't know time.
We've been traveling for about 2 hours
Yeah.
with the.
I think it's more
The
like
rest?
4 a.m. I think it's
Oh,
like
dang.
I
it
think
was
we
the
were going-
afternoon when we
we
took
started
like
at
an
10.
8-hour long rest.
We started at 10:30 at night on to go back. To continue traveling. It was about 10:30.
He didn't say what time
I
it
was
was.
reading the notes.
We had just
the notes
woken
are
up.
No,
Not exact.
those are exact from there. So you're basing.
Because you were
What you're
doing that
basing
thing
off
about
is
30
concrete.
minutes, I think.
I am just not going to confirm anything.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I'm saying
So,
it was
It's
10:30.
past, Trace
It's been
Stone.
about two and a half hours.
That's
so
it.
we.
So we're looking about one between
That's
1
what
and
I'm
2
basing it
a.m.
on still.
Okay.
So we've been here for 2 hours.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it's about 1, 2
We're
a.m.
traveling.
It's
not
How
gonna
long
be
did it
much-
take to get here?
I casted it when we were here.
So we've been here for 2 hours, and it took us 2 hours to
So the
get
sun's about to
We
come
were
up.
on the edge and
Right.
you were doing your
I mean,
right thing.
we don't have anybody to report to right now. She told us to report to someone. We don't have anyone to report to because we don't have any idea who we would report to.
Daylight's gonna be a lot harder for us to move around.
It's just find our dragon claw or whatever. But really,
Find who?
I mean,
our
if,
dragon
if
claw.
we roll into where
It's a
Oh,
higher
yeah,
rank.
yeah. I heard.
if we roll into where all the business shit is, I mean, I think that'd be a better, just a
See
better
what's going
idea
on.
because we could mill around like we're can.
We can see what the
here,
crowd looks
sharpen
like.
this
I just
for
don't see
me,
how
or
everybody-
here.
But what I'm getting at is
You know,
at this
it's
late
not-
hour, is there still a lot of hustle and bustle going on?
He
Yeah,
just said
it's a
there's
fair
people
amount,
walking
yeah.
around.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
so based off of, go ahead and roll roll an intelligence check.
Everyone or just him?
I'll let all of you go for it.
It's gonna be a 16.
Natural 1.
14.
13.
11.
11, 7. Collectively,
We don't know.
what you've seen so far in just this short little glimpse of traffic moving back and forth does not resemble the entirety of the force you saw. So it could be a safe assumption that there seem to be shifts, and that certain people are awake right now and certain people are sleeping right now, and that those shifts may end. So you get the idea that this camp doesn't necessarily just go to sleep.
Okay.
Say we take the evening shift for now on. Alright, let's go get something to eat real quick
So we'll
and
go.
some drink, see if we can hear anything.
That's what I've been saying, guys. Hungry.
Alright. So you guys make your way into. So as you approach this cluster of tents, you see 2 circular tents about 25 feet tall in diameter, 4 smaller circular tents about 5 feet in diameter. They all stand about 10 to 15 feet tall, about 20 feet apart from each other. Again, you see various representations of chromatic dragons all over the place. There are fire pits in the middle of the pathways in between the tents, and torches in front of the entranceways. There is quite a bit of activity moving around here. It is well lit. Many people kind of moving back and forth in and out of huts. You see male, female alike. Many humans, a few elves, a few half elves, and you do see a dwarf here and there.
No gnomes.
What's that?
Gnomes.
You do not see any gnomes.
No other beautiful horned fellas like myself.
You do not see any people.
So we're getting
See,
food? Is
meat
that
on
what
a
we're
stick.
doing?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing.
I would like to just keep my eyes open for the one person that I would recognize if I saw.
Sure. Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
No, you have been shitty to me tonight. Natural 20.
Okay. In this area, you do not see it. You do take a quick, good, hard look, and you do not see your quarry in this area. All right. Oh man, I completely screwed my notes up. All right. Excellent. Okay. So
I messed you on a roll.
no. So the two larger tents do seem to be served as like a mess hall and an armory. And the four smaller tents, one serves as a walk-up bar where you see that they hand out little kind of arm-sized kegs of ale, flags of wine, as requested. You see a few people walking up and walking away with them. There's also a blacksmith and a tent that looks to be like a medical treatment.
Walk up to the bar.
No. Go get a casket.
Right. We'll pull you up to the bar.
What's it take to get a drink around here?
What are you looking for?
Anything to drink to get these bastards drunk.
Well, first you gotta tell me what you're looking for.
Give me some ale.
Sure. So it kind of goes back, rummages around about 10, 20 seconds, comes back, sets up what looks to be like, ever seen the Heineken mini kegs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pony cake.
Little
Yeah.
pony keg. Kind of sets
What do I owe you?
barrel up. He's like, nothing.
Alright. No,
Alright, I put it on one of us back. Skittles.
take that. That was just the bar. That was just your drinks, right? Okay. Find somewhere to find meat.
Yeah. What do we? Hey, no,
What are the rest of you guys doing while I go do that?
There, you said fire pits and log people, I guess, sitting around finding one just pretty well populated and just sit down.
Okay. So you go ahead and sit down at the fire pit. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'll go sit too.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
so you're
fine.
going with them. You two are still coming back.
Okay.
I want to run over into wherever the food's at.
Okay, so you head to the mess hall.
Yeah.
I'm going to the mess hall.
Yeah, actually, I think we'll do
Oh wait, I thought we were.
You're still
I thought we
coming
were
back.
already
We're
going to-
coming back from the ale.
I'll go get food then. I didn't realize we didn't go yet.
Okay.
Okay, so
you're
the three of
sitting
you
by the
heading
fire.
up. Okay, so you're first because you're closer. So you sit down in front of the tent. And for the sake of this, just because I don't want to penalize, because I don't like penalizing for the characters you chose to play, we're going to say that you have hooks up and things like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I've been fine. I've been thinking the same thing. I've been holding my hood over.
it's
I
fun,
should have mentioned
and I
it,
may use
but I
it.
didn't know about my feet.
Yeah, I may use it, but I'll use it in certain circumstances.
Yeah,
I don't wanna-
my character would just destroy this whole.
Yeah, and that's what I
plan,
don't
right.
like creating. So
I gotcha.
there will be times, but I'll hint at maybe you want to do something about that.
Right.
Same for you because
I've
you're
been
very.
so hesitant about this whole thing because I'm like, dude, it's
That was
it's
the
like
same thing
our
I-
crew. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is just gonna be so like a sore thumb just sticking
Yeah,
out.
totally. If
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna be like that, I would have just said, "Let's walk her."
Me
fucking
too.
back, fuck it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
why I was so
I
hesitant.
wanted to
suggest
allow
it.
that because I wanted you to feel it, but just from here, I'm just letting it be. You guys, I wanted that level of anxiety from you,
Right.
but now that we're in,
I got you.
Now let's go kill everything.
I want to punch this guy in the face. What up?
And I walk to the center of the tent and knock out the main hole.
But yeah, so
You're all gonna die.
because again, it's just I don't want to do that. This would be really hard if we.
Yeah.
did that. So that's why I did give a little of you sprinkled in throughout here, but you're obviously a flame. You're a little
I'm-
less of a flame.
Oh,
but
I thought I would be the flame.
no, because he's freaking.
He's the same color
he's
dragon
a
that killed
chromatic
the big.
Oh,
dragon.
that's right.
Metallic
He's gold.
dragon.
At least me being
Yeah.
red,
He's a
I would
sorcerer.
blend in a little bit.
The other two could be like, eh.
Well, I do have that freaking silver dragon tattoo all over me.
Yeah.
that
So
would give it away.
we're gonna
too.
say you're hooded. The rest of you
Oh yeah, I
are
didn't tell you about
kind
that.
of gone under the
Yeah.
assumption that you are mercenaries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you sit down.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? What is the purpose of you sitting here?
I'm just listening. I'm just warming myself by the fire and listening to hear if any conversation. Not trying to impose myself at all. Just kind of mingling to listen to see if
Sure.
I hear anything worth noting.
Sure.
Battle
so,
plans, movements, grumblings, excitements, anything that they'd be speaking about.
So the general consensus that you can take away from just the regular chit chatter that you hear, you hear them bitching about shift work. You hear them, kind of questioning. You hear certain groups of them kind of questioning, how long are we going to be doing this for? Blah, 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 blah. Maybe we should move back west. And you hear that type of conversation where it's. You kind of go ahead and roll an insight check.
They're fucking grumpy.
That's what I'm trying to think. The morale. I'm trying to
I wouldn't
see.
say that they're
Yeah.
grumpy.
17.
17. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't say that they're grumpy. I would just say that you kind of get the feeling that
Morale's not high.
it's not that the morale's not high. I mean, they get free food, they get free booze. It's just they may be ready to move on to other things. Some of them may be. It's definitely not a united force. There seems to be little pockets of gangs, if you will.
Yeah, they're
Fiefdoms,
They're
yeah.
mercs.
Yeah. So that's the conversations that are going on
Okay.
around you. Okay. Did you wish to do anything? Or?
Not yet.
Okay.
Are we approaching him yet?
Not yet. So the three of you make your way to the mess hall thing.
Okay.
Open the door. You see, again, picture MASH, mess hall. Just rows of tables, and you see a line that goes down the side, and then the food.
Is there people in line?
There's very few people in line, but yes, there's about 3 people in
Alright, I'm just gonna mosey straight into line.
line. Okay. So he moves into the line. You two?
Yep, I'm going.
Leanne?
Yep,
Okay.
following. Sorry, falling asleep.
So as you guys make your way down the
We're
line,
getting close to.
the guys in front of you go. It's your turn.
Just like, what do they got?
Okay, so as you go down the line, you see what looks to be like root vegetables, potatoes,
Okay.
and deer game meat.
Alright, give me some of that shit. Any legs?
Sure.
I'm gonna grab a few legs off. the
Well,
floor.
it's not grab. There is somebody serving.
Oh, okay.
So you approach and you see a female human who's just kind of got her eyes down, not making eye contact with you. And says, "What can I get for you, sir?"
Give me a little bit of all that, and then throw two legs on top.
Yes, sir. And she kind of turns and does as you command and presents it to you.
And take it.
Okay.
I go out of the line. And I just go sit at the closest table, put my plate down, and wait for these two.
Sure. Okay. Who's that?
I want to get some of everything as well.
Okay. So you notice the same thing. She doesn't make eye contact. She
It
goes.
seems pretty meek.
She does her thing. Kind of hands it back to you.
Thank you.
Figure if anybody's gonna
The
talk to
table.
her, Smith will.
Do you have any stew?
No, I'm sorry. We don't have any stew this evening.
Why are you being so quiet?
This is my job. Yeah.
Okay. I'll have a bowl of potatoes, please.
Okay. So she kind of goes over and she gets the potatoes and hands it back.
Thank you.
You guys lead line?
Yep.
Okay.
Is she the only worker in here?
She's the only one that you see up front. Because it is late at night.
Right.
So it's not like...
She doesn't have a long ass line.
Yeah.
When we walked
There's
up,
just
got
a few
food,
people
left.
who probably had too much to drink and were like, I'm going to pound some stuff before I go to bed.
Right. I look around and I see anything else of interest in here.
No, not really. It just looks like a standard regular mess hall.
Alright.
So at this time, you two make your way to the mess hall.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up and ask her some venison and potatoes.
Okay.
I just will start walking out and nod at those two. And I got food for tough guy outside.
Okay. So same thing.
Okay.
Meet with David here, you guys, sir.
You don't seem like you're thrilled to work here, young lady.
I don't know if I would call it work, sir.
Are you here against your will?
I don't want to answer that.
I'm not here to hurt you, young lady. I take the blame. Thank you. They're not holding anybody that you know against who forced you into this. I've been in that kind of situation before.
She kind of
Rather
raises
irksome.
her head a little bit and looks side to side. Go on and make a persuasion check.
Yes.
Persuasions.
Got it, man.
1.
She kind of looks down, not really looking at you, and sees that that you're a dwarf, and that your kind is kind of in this area, and she just kind of gives you the look over, and she says, "No, sir, I'm very thankful to be doing what I'm doing."
That's why I didn't do it, because I have a -1 persuasion.
Alright, I'll leave you to it. Thank you.
So you kind of like walk away, just weirded out by it. Like you're suspicious. You're like, I think that person is your
Raisins
man."
are
I'm watching all
Raisins
this
are
as
last
it's
shot.
happening.
Yeah,
It's
you're
our last
watching this
shot.
is all that happens. So, Bryson, you walk up. What can I get for you?
Do you have any legs left, young lady?
Yes. If you pick that up.
Why are you so down? What's going on? Come on.
Sir, I'm here to serve food.
Just food? Is that what you're doing?
Okay.
Well,
What food?
you don't want people having fun.
She's a slave.
I'm here to serve food.
Okay. I'll have 2 legs, and at that time, I want to cast Detect Good and Evil.
Okay. So she turns over and begins to get her stuff.
Sorry.
That's the 3 types within 60 feet,
You
right?
get that.
No, this one is like you can.
I'm gonna do something.
Yeah.
It's a spell. It's not a
Well,
bond.
I'm gonna go out and feed him.
Yeah,
So
you
you
need
guys
to know what
you guys got
that's
this. You got this.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna do.
No, it's all good.
I'm gonna do what Sindra would.
Alright, you guys got this. Get some info. Find out where the prisoners are.
Oh no, it is the it is the it is the undead evil. Good of evil if they're affected by hollow, celestial,
That's the
fiend,
bottom
undead. Yes.
See, I knew when I
The other one,
when he
that's not what I'm
described it, I was like, that chick can tell us
So,
where
yeah,
you
you
were on
think
the same
so.
page I was.
No.
But I knew I couldn't get it out of her. I
And
got
then-
-1. Persuasion.
I'll
There's no way she. I was
lead
gonna
up
get
to it
it.
and say, "Is there anything I can do to help you? I'm not here to hurt.
You see, she kind of looks up again, looks over at Neb, kind of looks at you. Go ahead and make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Man. You got a 1.
Yeah, she kind of looks up and she sees your pale skin,
The white eyes.
the white eyes, and she's like, "No, sir, no, not at all.
Okay.
I'm
Alright, Syndra's
Knowing
turn.
that Bryson has failed,
I'm going out the tent. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
get
I'm
some.
usually
taking my food and leaving.
Sindra is a
Are you leaving the
kind
tent or are you
soul.
sitting down? Sindra is.
I'm leaving to go
I'm
fight.
getting up.
I'm following red.
You're getting up. Hold on. You're following Red. Okay. These 2 are still sitting down. So you get up.
How many other
Stay
people are in
away
this
from
tent?
Neb.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
22.
22? Okay. Currently, there's nobody in the room.
There's no one?
Other
I'm
than-
gonna walk up to her. I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder. I'm gonna take out 20 gold and hand it to her. I'm gonna say, do you want to be out of here? Do you want to leave?
She looks up immediately and again
I'm trying to help you.
sees him walk out, looks at Neb, so go ahead and make just a straight persuasion check.
The money canceled the disadvantage. Nice call.
9.
9. Again, she's just she
I
shuts down.
If she said that, I'm gonna cast invisibility on her and say, this lasts for 1 hour. If you want to leave, you need to go now.
So they know they can see that they're invisible, right? I assume so.
I assume,
So-
yes.
So you don't see anything because she's invisible.
Tap me twice if you're really gonna leave.
You do
Clink,
hear a
clink.
few pots and pans clink, 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 and you hear the footsteps.
So she left. Cinder is a pencil. She couldn't let this poor slave girl stay here. We were. Maybe she'll remember us later and she'll come back.
Epic failures all around.
Yeah, really. Critical fail.
Jesus. Come on, Cthulhu dice.
So,
And they
the rest of you guys are
they're
doing
coming
that.
back.
Maybe she'll come back and help us later because I'm so nice.
All
Are
right,
you guys staying and eating?
I'm gonna get up and go out of the tent and go up to these guys.
Yeah, I walk
So you
over
leave. What are you two doing? Hold on.
I'm eating my potatoes.
Are you sitting down?
Uh-huh.
Sit down and think about how and hope she gets out.
Okay.
As I'm listening, I pull out my lute and start playing a
Okay.
old Cormyrean Purple Dragon battle hymn.
Okay.
Performance of a natural 20.
Okay. So you begin tootling away on your flute.
22.
So, oh, 22.
It's just
right.
still
22.
Are you playing loud? I'm giving you the choice now. Are you playing loudly or are you playing softly? Like how are you presenting this performance?
Trying as it is a inciting, inspiration and honor in battle type hymn. I don't know.
How loudly are you playing it?
Loud enough so that everyone at my fire pit can hear it.
Okay.
So quietly.
Relatively quietly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Like
you
acoustic guitars around it like a campfire.
yeah. So you begin to pull it out and play.
I'm trying to see if anyone recognizes it to, kind of either starts him into it or kind of getting these mercenaries how far they may have come or if they have known this song.
You don't get much reaction. Like a few people kind of look over and it's kind of like whatever.
Okay.
Okay, when I approach him, I kind of ask, did you get anybody to find out where the dungeon is? He's getting hungry. You know how he only likes corpses. I say this loud enough that the people around the fire can hear it.
Okay. Yeah, you know, they kind of are still secluded off in their little areas.
I walk up behind him and I freaking nod at Heskar on it. Toss him a leg.
Okay.
Alright, fine.
Yeah, they let
Put the loot away and start eating.
okay.
Have a drink.
Sit down and eat. Alright, you sit down and eat. You two, while you were back inside the hut, inside the mess hall, you see the two double doors, kind of like bar double doors in the back, open. And out walks a kind of bald, burly human male. And kind of like looks around. Alright, where'd she go?
I don't know, she served us her food and then she said she was going to her room.
Alright. Kind of goes into the back to the door. About a minute later, another human comes out and just kind of stands there with her head down.
I can't do it again. I leave. I'm too sad to sit here.
So Cinder gets up and leaves.
Can't help everybody.
Smith's still munching.
Is there
I like to
anybody
think
else?
there's like a burp in there.
Is there anybody else in the mess hall eating other than myself?
Make a perception check.
16.
16. Currently you are alone.
I am alone, so it's just me and the server.
Sorry.
What were you gonna say?
I was saying out of game. You didn't cast Disguise Self on yourself, did you?
I don't remember if I did. I don't think I did.
I don't think you did.
Am I still a gnome?
Yeah, I would say
Oh.
so.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead. I was
Alright.
just wondering.
You just search yourself as the girl.
As the slave girl?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
No.
Yeah, okay. It seems that they popped out another slave pretty quick, so they're probably keeping them somewhere back. They bought some tissues or some shit, man.
I'm trying to change somebody's life.
You got them in a hole
Okay.
out back.
Here we go.
One life.
Open the trap door,
Seriously.
grab another one.
Smidge gets up and she walks over to
messed
the
up.
girl. She puts her hand on her shoulder and she casts Charm Person on her.
So I do have a physics question if you want.
You're
Have
too
in the
short.
shoulder.
How are you gonna grab
Are you gonna grab her hip?
I said the 3 foot tall thing was going to come into play.
You know,
You don't need to touch him.
Is it touch?
I know.
No, that's, you
I
don't
was,
need to.
I was just saying it just
Okay,
for the
Her
presentation
elbow.
of
You
it
can touch
here.
her elbow.
Or, yeah, or like her hip.
Is it another girl?
This is a female.
Where's my Charm Person?
What's the DC?
I'm looking for it.
Alright.
That's how I feel when I stub my toe.
I'm okay.
It's miserable.
Wisdom saving throw.
I'd rather not. Yeah, what's the DC?
14.
She rolled a 4, so she fails.
Sweet. So yes, I'm casting Charm Person on her so I can talk to her and she will speak to me freely.
Okay.
So,
So you cast Charm Person.
okay.
She kind of looks
Boom.
up, so it appears as if the spell is taken.
Hi,
Hello.
what's your name?
Should I write this? Hold on.
You only have the name
It's not the
prepared for
first one. It's not the first girl. It's the second.
Your name is no one.
It's not the first slate that you put
What
on
was the
there.
name of the one I
If you don't have a second
freed?
one, they don't have.
So, this is, you see what appears to be a 20-year-old, very dark-skinned human female with black hair that is tucked up into a cloth. Around her head, kind of looks like to kind of keep it out of her hair. And she says, "My name is Kyrie.
Kyrie, that's a very pretty name.
Thank you.
You play basketball?
What's your name?"
My name is Smidge.
Smidge.
Yes.
That's adorable.
Smidge Taco Card.
I love it.
Thank you. So
Did
you'll
you want something to eat, Smidge?
I just had some potatoes. But thank you.
Okay.
So how long have you been working here?
I've actually been here for about 16 hours.
16 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
You've been at the
Maybe a
camp
little
for
longer.
16 hours or working?
Yeah. No, at the camp.
Oh,
I'm really new.
how did you get here?
I was taken from a raid on a town of Greeners.
Oh wow, we were just there.
Yeah, my family was there. I'm the daughter of a merchant. We were actually there on vacation when this happened.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I'll ever see him again.
That's very sad. I don't know. Yeah, I'll put it on. I was gonna
What's the
go
name
ahead.
of
So
You better give me pigeon.
So we're staying in one of these tents over here. Where are you sleeping?
I stay in the back over. If you're facing the front of the marketplace, out to the right.
Oh, okay, in the tent?
Yeah, there's a few tents back there.
Oh, it's not like a secret area or anything, is it?
I don't think so.
So it's not like you go into a tent to like a trap door or anything crazy like that. You're just
No,
sleeping over there.
Yeah, when at more of us are up during the day, but most of us are back there at night, chained to our pole.
Oh, okay. Are they all female or are there any males?
No, there's males. There's
How
about
many?
8 of us.
There's 8 total?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. When are you done working? Here at the cafeteria. When does your shift over?
When they tell me.
Oh, okay. Do you know any of the names of the people that you're staying with back there?
I do actually. There's Lee Ross, Stonegoth, Bernick, and Jens. Junebul. What was the other half of his name? Yasmir. Junebul and Yasmir are husband and wife. And then there's Nazum. He's kind of the guy who helps us get through everything.
Get through everything.
Yeah, just deal with our situation.
Oh, is he a slave too?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't hear it.
Maybe he's going by a different name.
He could be going by different names.
Okay, well, do you have any carrots?
She kind of turns around and yeah, I have a few.
Okay. Will you do me a favor?
Sure.
Will you tell, if anybody asks, we never had this conversation.
Yeah, I try to say as little as I can around them anyway.
Okay.
It's just better that way.
Yeah, don't ever say that you talked to a gnome named Smidge Togglebird.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah. It'll be our secret.
Okay, that sounds good. Pinky swear?
Pinky swear.
Pinky swear!
That's it.
She reaches
Okay.
down.
Okay, so, I guess I'm going to walk away.
Question. Those were the quiet tents that you were telling us about, right?
Alright,
Where
I
they
should
keep
have
the
written down.
slaves.
Did you write down all those names that he said?
No. There was a husband and wife.
There was a husband.
There was fucking Rosebud and Treetop and something else. I don't know.
Okay, so, I'm going to summon, I'm gonna go sit back at the table.
Okay, so you walk out of the tent.
I'm not out of the tent.
Oh, so you walk back to the table.
Right.
Okay, sure.
I'm gonna go sit back down at the table and put my hood up, and Ren is sitting next to me still, or he's on my shoulder. And I'm going to send him over to the tent that she just talked about,
Okay.
while I'm sitting there pretending to eat my food because there's nobody else in there. And I'm gonna send Ren over to the other tent so I can go and look inside to see if, who am I looking for? What's his name?
Laos and
Laosin. What race is he?
See, you have to start remembering this
I
stuff.
know I do.
You guys
Come on.
are
He's a
like
human.
really.
I
This
suck
is
at
like
memory.
metagaming albatross.
Okay, I'm an albatross. I'm the gnome albatross. So, alright, then never mind, I won't do anything. I'm just gonna go sit down and finish my carrots.
Okay. So, what do you do?
Eating, I guess, right now.
Okay. So are we all converging?
Did she come out?
Yes.
Yeah.
How long's it been?
We'll say it's been
5 minutes?
5-10
Not
minutes for
long.
everything to happen.
And she's still in the she's still in the tent.
Everyone's now making their way out.
Bless you.
Bless you.
No, but she said she was sitting down and she had
She
stayed
said she
in
was
the
leaving.
tent. Oh,
Yeah,
you're
she
said
was
she-
sitting there.
Oh,
Never
so
mind.
she said it. So she is not.
But yeah, I will.
But she walks out.
Alright, and it's been so if I don't see her, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and check the
Okay.
mess hall tent.
So you go back to the tent.
Right.
What are you doing? You walk out of the tent. Are you sitting with these guys?
Are they close by?
Yeah, you can see them relatively.
I don't want to go sit with anybody. I just want to stand on the edge.
Okay. All right. So you make it back to the tent unless anyone's doing anything else.
How and so yeah, when I walk in the tent, how far away is she?
She's at the front booth.
I mean, how big was it? You said 25 feet.
Yeah.
I just kind of at a little low. I'm like, what are you doing?
Eat my carrots.
Okay. All right.
So, I just went and talked to, I don't remember her name.
Kyrie?
I don't know. I just went and talked to her. And
If only they made pencils and paper, she could write this down.
if only. And all the slaves are in the tent back there.
All right. Let's go check it out.
Okay, let's go.
So we go.
So we get up and we leave and we're gonna go
Walk
the
back
other
out.
tent.
Okay. So you guys walk back out of the tent.
Mhm.
Are you guys walking directly over?
Yep.
Do you want to tell the rest of the crew?
We can, sure, we can bring everybody.
All right. I just kind of cruise by and kick Neb in the ass.
Let's go.
And just like kind of ease away from the rest of the people sitting around the thing. Are these two paying attention?
Yeah.
I just nod at them. Just kind of don't be obvious, but
Alright. Follow him.
So you guys follow?
Yep. I'm gonna wait a minute and then follow behind.
Okay.
Try to make it not look too obvious.
Okay. So you guys make your way down through.
you coming with us too?
Yeah. I'm just following.
What are we doing? I want to sleep.
So you guys make your way back down through to the quiet area of the tent. As you approach this cluster tent, you see 3 circular tents about 25 feet in diameter, about 20 feet apart from each other. 2 smaller tents that are about 10 feet in diameter that are toward the front. Again, these are the 10, 15 feet tall tents, look just like the same ones that you've seen. There's a big fire pit in the middle of the 3 larger buildings, but the fire is burning very low. There's very little bit of activity here. As you guys are kind of making your way, go ahead and give me a perception check.
16.
9.
11.
13.
17.
17. You two see a what looks to be a where did that go? What looks to be a male elf wearing the exact same armor as the individual who fought in the ravine. Leaves one of the larger tents and enters into, the smaller tents are in the back, the larger tents are up front. He leaves the larger tent here and moves to the one that's closest to you guys.
He was the larger figure, the one that was in the back in the ravine that we fought.
He's wearing the exact same armor. You don't see this because you're not paying attention,
Okay.
but those two see it.
Sorry.
Why don't I disguise myself as a chef and walk in and tell him that I need that slave to come and work in the kitchen if we see him in there?
I can't come with you though.
No,
You don't know what he looks like.
this is true.
What does he look like, Red?
He always look like.
Can I tell him what he looks like?
Sure.
Alright, I'll tell you what he looks like.
What does he look like?
I mean, I don't know. I know what he looks like because I'm so, but I
What
mean,
race is he?
he's
Is he a
fucking-
tiefling? Is he an elf?
I think you say he's
I
human,
thought
right?
he was human.
Is he human?
Yeah, I thought he was human. Oh no, he's not. He's a half elf.
He's a half
Yeah,
elf?
he's a half elf.
Alright, I don't like that plan.
Did they say halfling or half elf earlier? They were saying
I think she
Halflings
said
is what I've heard.
halfling.
Yeah, she said a halfling on the one name, and then said that name and the other name were married. So it's 2 halflings.
Right. Well, what do you want to do?
None of the other names sounded elven. So if you go in and look for the guy with the pointy, I like your plan.
Yeah.
So it's only the one
Is there a
tent?
way to,
What
for the way the
race?
tents are, is there darkness that you can skirt around?
As you're approaching these tents to the left, no. Actually, give me a perception check.
20.
Okay, that will absolutely do it.
Well, is he looking at you right now? 'Cause
Sure.
you might need to walk away and walk
So
back.
to answer
Yeah,
your
that's what
question
I'm gonna
first,
I can walk up.
you look as you're walking and approaching these tents.
Give it to the fucking guy.
Did you see the elephant?
Hey,
You
everybody
saw
do
that?
it.
No.
And like kind of take
Which
the
roll?
attention.
13.
13. Yeah, you didn't
Go
see
by.
it. So as
Or
you're
if
at,
notice
you didn't see the
just-
elephant because you were
if
looking
just-
around.
just
As
say,
you're
hey,
looking
I need to
around,
go get one of the fucking
thinking,
slaves.
is there
for
any
the kitchen.
cover here? You see over to your right, this 4 to 6 foot tall brush
Oh,
that
yeah,
separates
this is
the
all
two
the
camps.
NPCs that we've come across
is,
so far. Of course, fucking.
Over on that
I
side,
didn't put my house in on here yet.
and
Because we have
off
to have
to
you run into
the
it.
left,
But I should have had
as you're facing it, you see what appears to be a small wooden X-like structure that looks like it may have a humanoid fixed to it.
Check it out.
That's about all that you can see from here.
It's a crucified someone.
Did you walk away from everybody?
I'm gonna
No.
go.
Okay.
Alright, is there discussing their plan? I see this. I'm gonna stealthily slip away to go see if the person is dead or alive.
Okay.
You said you told him anyone or no?
No, I'm not trying to draw attention to anything.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a stealth check.
9 plus 5. 13.
13.
Mm-hmm.
So, the distance between you and this area is approximately 100 feet. So, we'll say you make it about 50 feet. And you do see a humanoid. It's dark. You can't necessarily tell if it's alive or dead. But you do see it's wearing what appears to be some white clothes.
Okay, I approach.
Roll a perception check.
Everybody?
Everybody except for Val.
Crit. Perception.
You hear it.
Natural 20.
20.
You hear it.
20.
6.
You don't hear
13.
anything. You hear it.
17.
You hear it. So everyone hears it except for Switch.
Hey, you guys.
I
Something over here.
yeah.
This way.
Point.
Come on. We kind of,
So
saunter over.
you guys move over to your position. Okay.
They strung up a prisoner over there 50 feet. Go check it out.
So as you guys look over,
I can't do that.
you see the
I
same
could try.
wooden structure.
Can I see?
From this distance, that's all you can make out.
I can't make out anything else.
Have to get closer.
I'm gonna
Can
get
I-
closer.
Before we do anything else.
I'm gonna.
I was
approach
gonna
him now.
cast a spell.
Actually, Neb's gonna go right in front of me.
Okay. On.
I was gonna do Red, Syndra, and Nep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
So-
you get a D4 for every skill check or saving throw.
Okay.
For how long?
For the next minute, so make it quick.
Alright. I'm gonna. The crab is gonna.
It's supposed to be like 3 rounds of
towards
combat.
The,
Right. What's the distance between me
50.
and the?
50 feet.
And then what's in between?
It's open.
It's completely open. There's nowhere for me to fucking
Let's
like
just
behind a
saunter
tent or nothing. I can't.
Let's walk up and
All right.
walk.
Yeah. I'll just.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm just gonna.
I'll
I'll just my thing is the crab is going because
Let's walk.
the crab's gonna be ahead of me, and I'm gonna be almost following it. Like I'm a little
Alright,
annoyed
so
with it.
everyone roll stealth checks.
Everyone?
The three that are, or whoever's going.
I'm not going.
No,
I'm thinking the
I'm not
armor.
I'm
I'm
going.
gonna stand right where I'm at.
15.
16 plus 3, 19 plus 6 is gonna be a 25. So.
19.
That's 17.
17. As you guys make your way towards this wooden structure, as you approach, you see 2 metal horned dragon heads with their mouths, their maws wide open, into the grooves between their bottom fangs, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Is a hollowed out area. From the inside, coming from their throats, comes this big chain that shackles down onto a set of shackles around the arms. And there you see hanging from these shackles that holds what looks to be a severely beaten young male half-elf. He's short for a half-elf, has long black hair parted on the left-hand side that kind of dangles down just past his cheeks, down toward his jawline. He's wearing white linen tunic that has been torn open, kind of exposing his chest. And he has a leather piece that goes across his midsection like abdominal armor. He's wearing blue gloves around his elbows. On his legs are ripped brown leather pants, and he's got brown leather boots, and he's kind of half in and out of consciousness. And this is,
Alright. I have an idea.
He's unconscious.
He's in and out. He appears to be in and out of consciousness.
If we're trying to get this guy out of here, have him play dead, and we'll put him on Guano's back. If we don't ask us, he's a corpse, and Guano likes to eat corpses, but I'm not going to subject them to that. He found him dead. If I had to drag him off because he was chewing on the corpse when it was hung up, that's going to be mine. It could work.
Are there locks on the chain?
Yes.
Yeah,
How are
that's
we
going to be
gonna
it.
how are we gonna do that?
Yeah, that's going
We
to
don't
be it.
have Bacardi here.
Yeah. Well, don't you have the fix? That's
Yeah,
fixed,
but-
never mind.
That's
Oh,
just to
that
fix
was-
things that are broken.
Are we right up next to it now?
Yeah.
My whole thing is
I'm
I'm
around.
always
Do I see
holding my
any-
crab
do I see
off.
Yeah.
anyone?
Can we look around for people?
Currently, you do not see anyone.
Use the skill
Alright,
check
I'm
to
gonna-
unlock.
How far down is he? Am I like right up there? Is he above me? Is he above me?
He is about eyesight.
He's about eyesight. I run up to him and I kind of like look around and I shake him. Hey, and just kind of smack him on his face a little
You
bit.
see, kind of rolls his eyes around. Just kind of like looks around. He looks at you. Kind of looks at everybody else. Kind of like looks around again.
Hi, buddy. Long time.
What are you doing here?
Looking for you.
Why are you looking for me?
Because that's what I was told to do.
I'm trying to get information on the cult.
You don't look like you're doing so well.
I didn't anticipate them being so rough.
All right, Will. What do you want to do?
My plan doesn't seem to be going as well as I thought. He kind of like lowers his head.
The most obvious thing. as
Did
far
you
as we
get
can
any
tell.
information?
I've got lots of information. Do you know what's going on inside that cave?
Yeah, we ain't got that far.
We have to find out what's inside that cave. But I'm in no condition to do that. So how about maybe we just get out of here and come back later?
It's a good idea.
Okay. I'm cool with that. Let's
Okay.
get this fool out
We're
of here.
scout or watching.
Can I use my tinkering tools to try to get him out of the shackles? What?
Huh?
Can I use my tinkering tools to try to get him out of the shackles?
Sure. Make sleight of hand check. Wait, it would be these tools. Do you have these tools? Tinkering tools would not work for this.
Smith's tools.
That would not work.
I
If
might have
only
to
we
take
had
it.
someone who was proficient
I know, right?
in
I didn't.
locks.
He's always drunk.
Too bad they didn't.
Or sometimes he gets, takes a ride with dragons. Yeah, let's. I want me and him.
He's not with you.
He's not this.
Remember,
He came with. Oh, he didn't
No,
come
we
Me,
with.
stayed-
you, and Ned.
Oh, that's right.
They
That's
have
right.
disadvantage
That's
on
right.
stealth checks.
That's true. They do. But if you go back to him and kind of.
all right. I'll tell you what. Do we see them kind of doing all their, like,
they
what
see
the
us?
fuck? And I'm like, rip them
I mean,
down.
They can't
He
see
can't
us.
even see our
I'd say you can
face.
see them, but like you can't really. Go ahead and make a perception check.
9.
9. Yeah, you see them doing stuff, but you can't really make out anything.
Can I inspect the way it's locked and see if I can discern a way to break it or
Sure. Make an investigation check.
I can burn a spell if we really need to get this dude out.
no 8.
8. Yeah, all you can see is that these chains go into the mouth of this structure.
And they're just clasps around his wrist.
Yeah, pretty solid iron.
And he's just like this.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like he's been.
Are his feet on the ground though?
Yeah, his feet are on the ground.
But it's just keeping him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can you do?
Can I
I'm gonna
see
go
that
out.
they're up there and
I don't
Yeah,
know.
can
make
I-
my way up?
Because if I wave at them and they see me and they come clinking along, we're
Make
gonna draw
perception
attention to
check.
ourselves.
I mean, I'm gonna
Fuck.
Yeah, you can't really see what's going on. They're kind of hidden.
I'm gonna touch Liaosin and cast gaze.
Gaseous
Gas-
form.
Yes, form
Gaseous
on
form.
him.
Okay.
Good
Wow.
idea.
Okay.
Another clutch play.
Yeah.
So, so he
These
should
two.
be able
These
to
two,
come
I
out of the
swear.
things, and
Love 'em.
then
Have him
can
just
we
miss
leave
the
him
hell
in
out.
this? Wait, can he talk while he's in this?
No.
Read it.
Okay.
How long does
Does
he
he
stay?
drop
Tell
it,
him
or
to
do
get
I
out.
have to drop the?
It's your spell.
Is it a
form?
concentration spell?
Yes.
Then you would drop it.
So do we want to keep him in this and just like
Have him float
have
ahead
him
of
run?
you.
Put him in a
well,
bottle.
are we gonna have this thing
Yeah.
floating
Get a
next to
bottle
us?
out
Toss
of
it
the
in a
holding.
bottle?
Yeah, put him in a bottle, cap it, put it back
gotta
in the
rub
bag
him
of
the right
holding, and
way.
walk out with him.
Put him in a bottle.
How are
Well-
we gonna get
Put him in
in
a
the bottle.
Okay.
He's only meant.
Logistics.
Okay,
Just
well,
invoice in?
Going like this with the bottle till we
Stop.
have all of them.
Stop.
his only method of movement is a flying speed of 10 feet. So he is slow.
Yes.
So,
But can we
just
put
get
him in a
out
bottle?
and then drop it?
okay.
No, yeah, get
so
him out, drop it.
Yeah, I do that, and then I'm gonna drop it once he like has
I'll
moved
either
out.
give him one of these or you can
Away
cure
from
him
the
real
thing.
quick. Maybe he can walk faster if you
Okay.
give
You're
him a
right.
cure.
You're right. Cure wounds.
You know what I'm saying?
So
real quick.
the gaseous spell takes effect.
Perfect.
That was cool.
So good. The chains the clank.
No, I catch him.
Oh
Make a dexterity check.
Oh, the catch the chains.
20.
You see them. You see you're like wow, as Cinder touches him, you see his form start to like materialize into this puff of smoke, and you're like, wow, this is insane. Then you see these ironclad shackles go, and you're like, and you're like. Right.
And I look at Neb and I'm
like
like,
half an inch from the
yeah.
spell. So then you drop the spell.
yeah.
So you drop the spell, and Leonce just tumbles over onto the ground.
I run after I set the chains
What is his
nicely.
health like?
I run up
he is-
next to him.
Go ahead and make a medicine check. Not you. You're not. Oh, well, it's one
Yeah.
person. You have,
Neb is here.
or whoever wants to do it. If you
Oh,
want to
well.
do it.
5.
Since you're not.
5.
Did you come with us?
I had an 18.
5 is good.
I ran over.
Oh, you did.
everybody's
Okay.
with
Oh,
us.
everybody's with us
After
now.
all the
Everybody's-
Oh, no, these
they're
two.
not
No,
with-
no, we're not.
Yeah, you're
Those
not
two are
with them.
not.
So you roll. What'd you roll?
18.
18.
There you go.
You can tell that he has been denied food for a very long time. So he's incredibly weak. But he's had the shit beat out of him. So
That's
his hit
awesome.
points are very, very low.
I totally still have that plate of food that I didn't finish.
I say we put him on one of his back and say he's dead, and like my crab wants to eat in peace. You know,
What do you guys do?
slap him over the crab's back. That way no one has to carry him.
Are we gonna do that, or
Where
are
are
we
you
gonna
guys?
try to
Still at
train
the
and
fire?
walk out?
We're at the base.
Or-
We're
You guys
watching
are just
from
hanging
afar.
out.
We're just like scouting at the moment.
Has anybody been wearing those cultist cloaks while we've been
I
here?
mean,
that's
I
what
can
you've
do a
seen.
minor
Other than the
illusion and
black
conjure a blanket and
leathers.
cover him or whatever.
That's all I have to put on him as a
We've got a beast of burden he can ride on, and we can put a sheet over him and if he's dead. And if you not put a sheet over him,
I mean,
he's
he
dead.
stands up. So he stands up. He's when he stands up, but he's in pain and he's very weak.
Does he need a heal?
I lean up and talk to him and I'm like, hey, how do you think the best way is to get you out of here? He's been here for months or however long. He knows the layout.
I said we just take
He's
him
the
out the front
person
door
that
as a
asked,
dead
right?
body.
He was like,
Do you like Neb's dead body idea?
no.
No.
Alright.
He's like, if this is great, and I'm glad you're getting me out of here. But what are we gonna do when they come to check on me?
Be out of here.
Okay, I assume that they're gonna be checking on me every so often. They come by every about 10 minutes.
What did you do?
When was the last time they were here?
About 8 minutes ago.
We need to leave right now.
Corpse.
So
Can I create a minor
I
illusion
really
of him?
don't know. Oh, you could certainly try.
How long does that
Well,
last?
no, minor
I'm
illusion. I
reading
don't think you
through
can
it.
be. I think it can't be more than like 3 feet.
Not my early. I was like 5 foot by 5 foot.
What does it say?
You
Oh,
hear?
one of the babies is coming.
Chris is.
What is he saying?
Ew.
I'll go do it. Check on minor illusion.
I don't want. He had a dream. He said I don't want to do it.
I'll do it.
Go no.
Aww.
Oh.
That's the
Poor
first time
guy.
I've ever heard something come from. the
That's
little-
why I
So
wrote it down.
where
Okay.
we are at these tents, right?
So
you
minor
said they were
illusion-
linear next to each other. Are they up against the wall? Like,
We can hug the wall.
can we
and get
just
out of here.
hug the wall out of here? Like
Well,
straight back
to
out?
the-
Like, if we
So
have
to the
jump
right
off of
was
them-
where he was. To the left there was brambles or whatever, like 6, 7 foot tall brambles
Yeah.
going. Way we could probably try to go
It
that way
lasts
to get
for a
around.
minute.
Once we, once they
I shouldn't
come
go outside.
and come to check on him, and they
Mhm.
notice
Set
he's
an
not
alarm.
here, they're gonna
Gonna
set an
set
alarm.
an
We
alarm.
need to hail.
We need to get
Hail
out.
ass
We
and
probably
get
should
out.
have asked him before we took him out how long the car was gone. And then we should have taken him out with him after
Hey,
that.
another. Steve took his little time, so we're gonna be.
Okay, so
both of them.
okay, so does anybody have clothes we can put on him in your bags? You gave.
He has the bag of holding.
You got rid of your
Yeah, I
extra
can throw.
clothes.
I can throw.
You
We
have
got
something.
something, man. I can. You know what? I got that other set of black leather armor.
I would
I
take
can
it out,
Put that shit on him.
and he needs to throw
you know what I'm
something on
saying?
real quick.
Throw a hood over his head and give him a fucking sword or something, and let him walk with us. You know what I mean?
I'll heal him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I can
I
put
just
the leather
I
out.
can't heal
can
him
put-
when I'm not there.
We can
Or he's
dress
not
him in the
around.
armor real quick.
Yeah, you gotta get this.
I don't think he ever really woke up.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Did you go in?
Shrink.
Did you
Yeah,
go in at all?
Talking in his sleep.
I went in and I said, "Hey, turn your light on." And he clicked his light on, and then he laid back down. And he looked like he was dead asleep.
Okay,
Back to the task at hand.
Red. What'd you say? You say you're gonna put some clothes on him?
Yeah, I mean, I got a set of black leather armor that
It's
I can
gonna-
give him.
Okay.
Right? Give him a hood. Give him a sword.
Move
Or
off
whatever
to
on
the
his hip.
side and then do this.
We'll move off. We'll move away from the freaking rack
Sure.
that he was on. And
So
just get his ass dressed real quick.
Make a perception check.
All right.
All of us? Or just Red?
You guys that are right there.
I'm not there. And minor illusion only lasts for a minute, so I'm not gonna.
I'm roll.
Perception.
14.
21.
21. So off to your left, your immediate left, about 150 feet, is the entrance to the cave. And you see that is heavily, heavily guarded.
150 feet from where we
I
fucking
didn't
are.
realize we were that
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
to the
You still have
cave.
invisibility.
They can see. Can they see us?
One.
They're not looking at you
I
right
guess I'll just cast. I did cast
now.
invisibility.
It is nighttime.
Damn. So we're all the way in the back. of
You're
the
all
fucking-
the way in.
Does it cast invisibility on
Diagonal
Unless it's
from
like
you,
You could do that.
about 30 feet.
Just let him walk with us.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
use that.
And then we can take an
the
hour to
cave
get
so we
out
don't
of
have to
here.
come back.
I,
As long as nobody saw us come over here, if we can get back away from this.
okay, I'm
Without-
gonna
yeah.
cast.
You see the Aspen's like, we either have to leave very quickly or do something because they're going to come back and look for me.
Okay, I'm gonna cast invisibility on you, and then hopefully that way we can get you out. 'Cause we've been walking through here without an issue, a few issues.
Okay, I can only move very
Still,
slowly.
you can ride on the crab invisible.
Yeah, we can do that
If we
too.
heal you, would
Sit
you
on
be
the
able
crab.
to move faster?
My healing you will
Crab, crab,
only
crab, crab.
cure my wounds. It wouldn't give you nourishment. He's malnourished.
Yeah, dude, I got food right here. You can
Okay.
eat. Sit on the crab. And eat.
I'm just saying, so if you try to move him, he's malnourished, so he's going to move slow.
Right.
So
If you sit
can
down and have a meal, you're going to get caught.
Can we put
Okay.
him on the
Okay.
crab?
Make him invisible.
You can
Slide
sit
on
Okay,
the
he's
crab.
I'm casting invisibility on him right now.
Alright.
Okay.
We're gonna
Anyway,
freaking
so-
Cast.
mosey on back over
Leo
where these
said-
two.
Okay.
So you put him on the crab.
Yes.
Okay. And you mosey
There we
back.
go.
So you guys see a little bit of commotion,
Mhm.
and then you see everybody walk back.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
There's a dude on the crab. We need to
Who's he?
leave.
We're leaving.
Be calm. He's invisible. We got an hour.
Oh, wait. What's
He
going
can
on?
wear you.
Out of here?
Out, yeah.
Yeah.
So are we
Yes.
leaving? Are we
Out of
coming?
here.
Yes.
What?
Out of here.
Leaving.
Back out the camp.
He's trying to roll.
I walked
I said lay out and back out of the camp.
Go. We gotta go. We gotta go. This
Are we
now.
leaving?
Step up. Step in.
Okay.
Are
We're
we?
doing
Are we
this.
checking out the
I
cave?
say
or
we
we?
no. I
Fuck
say
the
we
cave.
We're not
leave.
going in the fucking cave.
We're not
Fuck
going
the
in the
cave.
cave.
We'll just walk.
Yeah.
We
Just
can
walk
sneak
over
into the
coming
cave,
out.
and since he's invisible
did-
for an hour.
No, we're not going to cave.
He's busted up.
Let's go. We start walking down out towards the.
Pull
Well,
out
you
your
wait,
cave.
wait. You
Pull
also
out-
said it came up and then out to the north, right? Because we came in from the south.
Let's go
That's
back.
all a giant
No,
wall.
we're gonna go
Okay,
back on
so
the
you
path.
can't.
Yeah, it's
So
in
there's
like a
no
ravine.
way
We're gonna go
getting
back on
out
the
from the
path.
north.
We're
We
gonna go
have
back
to
on
go
the
out
path.
south.
You gotta go back
Past
out.
the-
That's the only way in
and
and out.
We're going back
Okay,
that way,
let's
past
go.
where the
Couldn't
guard
try
captain.
to scale
No.
the walls.
No.
No, I'm walking away with Guano with the dude on the back now. I'm walking south.
We're good. Pull your crossbow out. I'm
Mm.
gonna take my bow out,
Mm.
hold it in my arm. Pull your spear. Pull one of your spears
I don't
out.
think we should look aggressive.
No, we're
hunters.
going hunting.
Okay, yes.
You know what I'm saying? As we head back out.
I'm gonna be looking at my quivers,
We'll just-
checking my arrows
yeah.
as I walk.
Why are we going hunting when they paid people to be hunters? Do we look like hunters, or do we look like we're
Just
actually
get out of here. Let's
mercenaries?
go.
Let's just go.
Sure, that's a good
Just
point.
tell them our
I said
fangs.
we
I'm
just walk
walking.
how we
I'm
came
walking
in.
out.
Our
Let's
fang.
walk.
Yeah, I'm already moving. We're already
The
moving.
hunters suck today. They haven't brought anything back. We're gonna
Our
go
fang,
out. We're gonna
our
try
fang
our
told
own
us that we had to go out on
on
patrol.
board. Food
I'm already
sucked.
walking. I'm
I'm
already
walking.
walking.
If they're following me, that's fine.
Yes,
We're
yes,
walking.
yes,
Well,
yes.
yes.
I'm walking
Do
him with the crab and the
Do
guy.
it, do it, do it.
So you guys start making your way out past the huts on the left, which is where you were informed that all the prisoners were. Kind of making your way through. Off to the right, you come up in between where the mercenaries are and where the cultists stay,
Oh,
and
you have concentration
where
right now, yeah. Don't
the
say
main
that.
area is. And so you continue making your way back down through past the guard hut, and as you guys start making your way down, you see the two guards standing out front, and they're kind of just like looking at you for a second.
Heading out to shift.
Gentlemen,
What shift? Shouldn't be any more shifts.
I'm hungry, and the food sucked. I'm gonna go get something to eat.
Make a persuasion check.
13.
13. He's like,
Hunting shift.
there are no shifts for hunt.
well, this thing's got to.
And what are you gonna catch out there that we aren't serving in here anyway?
Well, one thing you don't
Did
like.
you get approval from your dragon claw?
Of course.
Okay, where's the letter?
Excuse me, sir.
You can run
This
the
thing,
letter real
its
quick.
scat is really revolting, and it should be outside the camp when it drops it. Otherwise, we've heard bad complaints every time.
Persuasion check with disadvantage.
This will be crit, and that's going to be a persuasion check. That's going to be a 3.
3. He's like, ain't nothing around here smell worse than the kobolds, kid.
I don't know. Okay. I
Oh,
just
here it
gotta
is.
put the-
Here it is. And I go. And I use my minor illusion to cast a letter from our claw.
Okay.
What's his name? Dragon claw.
So it's
And
not.
I give it to Red. Oh, here you dropped it.
It's not physical, is it?
Huh?
It's
Is
an
it physical?
illusion.
It's an illusion.
It's an illusion, but is it physical?
No.
Let me see the letter.
I can't take it.
Just hold it up in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to work.
Does it have writing and
There's
shit?
one
Yeah.
or two guards
Alright,
too.
I'm just like, oh no, of course.
The fuck is this?
How many are there?
They're fucking,
It's
this is so
a
stupid.
special letter.
How
There's
many?
2 currently here.
I could try to charm person and charm both of them.
Well, no, it's just the male down here. The female's up at the tent. But the last you saw, there's the male, the female,
I'm
the
doing.
female elf, the human, and the half elf.
You can't.
The human half elf, the
Okay.
female elf.
Well,
I don't know if you
in the
if
tent.
he couldn't grab it, then how could I take it from her?
This is true, but
You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't have taken it from her to hold it up.
Sure. So,
Yeah, you're
so
right.
he looks at you and says, "Let me see the letter."
and instead I'm going to charm person.
Okay.
It's a wisdom saving throw of 14.
Hold on 1 second.
He's gonna save.
Wisdom,
he's been rolling
no
shitty.
modifier on
He's been
wisdom.
rolling shitty the whole time. He's gonna make the save this
No,
time.
it's not going to do it.
It's a natural 2.
And I say, we are not the
We're not the droids you're looking
we are not the droids you're looking for.
You were not George Lewis.
So with that,
There's my second slot.
and you're going hunting.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
like,
hoping.
he's like, you're right. The food here does suck. So can I
Do you
get
want
a
us to
little
bring you
bit
back
of what you
something?
bring back?
I
Absolutely.
think we could do that for you.
Don't tell anybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. We won't tell anybody.
Okay. He kind of looks back at the female. And she's like, he's like, kinda like,
They're in a
she
relationship.
turns her back to you. She turns her back to you.
Okay.
And he's like, alright, go.
You gone?
I drew a crafted
Don't
flower
run,
and say, give
don't
this
run,
to
don't
her
run.
later.
I'm like, don't
He's
run,
like-
don't run, don't run.
Okay.
Make up for it.
And we just saunter.
And you guys.
Tell him, give it to her.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay. Good job.
Continue walking.
So you guys make it. I can't believe I fucking rolled a 2 on that.
I thought for sure. You've been over there like this.
Yeah.
All
I
night.
keep-
All night. I've seen you
We
do it
did it,
4
so-
times.
At least.
I keep
With
seeing
that,
dice hit and then nothing
uh,
happens, which means he doesn't get to do what he
That
wants
is
to
a
do.
17.
Oh shit.
So you guys make it halfway between those 2 huts and the kobold huts up front. And
But we haven't started. I thought the path goes around over to where the hunters are. And then you go down. The kobolds are on the bottom level, right? We're still
yeah.
up.
I guess we made it there.
No, so in order to still stay up, you would have had to gone to the main camp area and then gone to the hunter area.
We're trying to make.
I thought that's what we walked past.
No,
No,
we're trying
you
to.
guys were like, we're getting out. The way to get out is to go this
Right.
way.
Okay.
The way
Oh,
you
so
came
we
in
came
was
past
snuck
the,
around.
We came past where we met the captain
right, which
first
is why
on
I
the
was asking
opposite
which
side.
way does he go.
We came back on the opposite side, is what you're saying. Because we had to pass the captain
To get
to
up.
get to the food area.
Correct.
Right? So we just walked back past the captain. Was that not the same path?
That is not the same path that takes you to the hunter area.
Okay, so we came on different sides of the. Okay, I got
Yes,
you. All right,
correct.
so it's 2 different paths.
Which is
okay.
why when I
was
asked-
confused. I thought it was
Yeah.
only one path. You
No,
said
it's
to get
if you
across
go up
there.
or do you go down or do you go through the brush? And you guys went down, which is why you ran into.
Yeah, I literally have not been able to visualize this camp in my head the entire time. So sorry.
It's supposed to be that way because you're supposed to be kind of confused because a map is going to give you a bird's eye view and you would never have a bird's eye view.
Right, I got you.
So
Okay, what's
you've got to try to
happening
construe it in your head.
now?
So you guys get halfway between those 2 areas in the kobold camps, and everyone give me a perception check.
I perceive a dragon. Oh, natural 20.
Should be an 18.
19.
12, 11.
About
13.
23.
17.
They found him missing.
You hear the
Oh,
horn in
yeah.
the distance, and you start to see movement
Are there behind us?
behind you.
Oh, yeah.
We don't see anything.
Let's continue.
I mean, as we're walking, I
Double
start
time.
looking
That's what
around.
you just hear. You hear this as you're making your way.
All right.
Double time it. Let's go.
I mean,
I
we
mean,
can't
do
start
we want to
running,
run
but
and then people
yeah.
notice?
Let's just kind of mosey down.
I mean, he's invisible, so let's just
Yeah.
keep walking. We
Yeah.
Alright.
charm
Yeah.
dude. He's our friend.
Yeah.
All right. Just
Keep walking. We just keep walking.
Yeah, we just keep walking.
stay calm.
Here comes the wolves.
No, this is not coming.
What'd you say?
Damn.
You guys successfully made your way outside of the camp.
He rolled absolutely terrible.
I did roll very
entire-
good.
Turkey
that
does.
I switched
entire-
dice 3 times.
That entire. You need a dice jail.
Yeah, I
For,
switched
for
dice
you,
3
like Laura's
times.
got. Yeah.
We made it!
And it is midnight, so we're called there.
Awesome, we made it out. We're happy. We have to kill somebody too.
I'm gonna
Well,
need to
we
take a
rescued.
rest
We
soon.
rescued the
Yeah, me too.
my fucking buddy.
I just used my 2 spell slots on charm person twice.
We left all the other poor people to die.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
it
Yeah,
hurt,
those are
it
cool.
hurt.
It's better than all of us dying. Sorry.
Rescue
Hey,
two.
very true.
Yeah, we rescued girl, we rescued dude.
Yeah.
Maybe
since
she'll
we're
go back to
rescued-
Greenhurst and she'll tell her really
Got it.
rich parents that we saved her. Give us all the money.
She doesn't get eaten by a carrion worm on the way.
Oh,
We can only hope.
shit.
We'll see her dead body.
Well, she's
on the
invisible
road.
for a whole hour.
And we'll run into her as we're leaving.
Can't make
It takes 12 hours to get back.
Right, but the carrion worms aren't.
Maybe I should have
everywhere.
told her you should wait for us.